She's a primitive Jill.
There she is. There she is.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind, a journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone. Hello and welcome to Indefinite Lunch in Infinite Combinations, number 180. Where we're exploring all of the Twilight Zone, and today we're taking a closer look at 2 episodes from season 3 called 4 O'Clock and Hocus-Pocus and Frisby. And so today we have with us to talk about these episodes, we have Istophobos. Thank you for joining us today with your little smoking bear.
Hello, chat. Hi, Jill. Cheers. It's good to be here.
and also Wayfarer. Great to see you, Lawrence.
Hello. Likewise. I guess it's been 5 weeks in a row, and I hope I'm not wearing you out.
No, absolutely not. You're rad. And Stone Rocket, hey, what's going on?
4 o'clock today, Jill. I'm going to turn all the cat haters into mice.
Oh no! And then the cats can chase all the.
That's
mice.
Right.
Oh no!
Anyway, how are you, Jill?
That's great. I'm doing really great. Although when I share out the names of the episodes, I think it got a little confusing. People thought I was going to have my stream at 4 o'clock.
That was really hilarious when Lauren said that. I'm like, I was really laughing out loud.
Yeah, because I thought Hocus Pocus and Frisby were 2 different episodes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
it is kind of a strange name for an episode.
Yeah, and so I said, what are the episodes for this week? And she goes 4 o'clock, then line Hocus Pocus and Frisby. So yeah, we're doing it at 4, and we're doing the episodes Hocus Pocus and the episode Frisby.
Well, then I looked at the list of episodes.
That does.
Oh.
That does make logical sense, though. Hello to Gavin Blackburn. We've got some friends in the chat. We've got Brogu, Kimberly Ann Hart, and the poll, boss. The poll. Oh, there's going to be a special poll today. I promised that we weren't going to do the normal poll, but I've got to pull up my actual YouTube site in order to do it, because we're going to instead. This episode features 2 very annoying people. So instead of saying which episode do you like the most, we're going to ask
2 annoying
which
people.
character is more annoying.
Yeah.
Well, no, I take issue with that right away.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm talking about the episodes, and that's when I mentioned it because these guys.
Yes, these guys, both of these guys.
Do we get to take into account other roles the actor played, or does it just have to be?
Oh, and I guess that might factor into why the character annoys you. So yeah, sure, why not?
Or not, because our first guy, the guy who plays Worf's adopted father, and I'm like,
yes,
I'm gonna be a little softy on him because it's like, oh, what if we love you like as if you are human? I'm like, oh, that really takes the sting away.
That was my problem too. At home, I have all the specs and diagrams.
Oh dear,
He's so sweet.
I'm taking issue with a lot of things already here. Let's focus on the character within the Twilight Zone episode and not other.
Yeah, so don't Sergey.
It's like, Oliver, hey, I really love Theodore Bickle, and the Russians are coming, so I'm going to vote for, it's like, no, let's vote for what he is in the Twilight Zone episode.
It's for the most annoying also.
Yeah, and then Andy Devine, I don't find him annoying. I find them hilarious. So, but anyway, that's just me.
Yeah, it is one of the better comical episodes of the
Yeah,
Twilight
I
Zone.
enjoyed it.
They usually don't really pull it off. This one is. Many people find this hilarious. At the very worst, it's one of the least offensive of their comedic attempts.
Yeah, I like the comedy in this, but I've always liked Andy Devine. Ever since I saw him
Yeah.
in Stagecoach.
And see, I think that's where our age comes. Where it's sort of vaudevillian type of stuff, and maybe.
Yeah, well, I saw Stagecoach when it was first released. Oh no, I didn't. That was 1939. But yeah, Andy Devine in John Ford's Stagecoach and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Great movie.
Two great films. Way as far as thematics, polar opposites almost with the hero character and how he's treated. But yeah, those are two performances that I think of immediately with Andy Devine. But anyway, let's get to 4 o'clock.
Yes, 4 o'clock first aired on April the 6th, 1962. It was written by Rod Serling, but it was based on a short story by Price Day and directed by Lamont Johnson. And Serling figured out about this story by Price Day when they were trying to make the book about all the stories from the Twilight Zone. And he was sent a sample of these books that would say, hey, this is how your book will probably look like. And this story was in there, and that's how he learned about it.
Yeah, he was given a couple samples from Random House, and they both were anthologies with Alfred Hitchcock. There's let's see, favorite stories of suspense, I think was one of the volumes, and that's where this story was anthologized. And that's how Serling got how he noticed this particular short story.
Right on, yeah. And also, Oliver Kringle has a parrot named Pete who knows how to ask for nuts.
Yeah,
yeah.
He says nut at the most appropriate times.
Yeah. I will.
I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna let you. I was just gonna say. Yeah, some of those old stories were great, but the written story ends even more brutally than this episode ends. And when we get to that part,
okay,
it's harsh.
Yeah, no, Istophobos. I didn't even know about that until I was researching the trivia, and because I go through it blind, and I just watched the episode and I put my ideas, and I put that as an idea at the end without even knowing how the written story went. So
I really appreciate your copious note taking when we do these streams. Actually,
thank you. Well, and to that point, the parrot was trained. Unfortunately, it's not the one saying nut. Apparently, there's a real.
Yeah. But I think the big highlight for me in this episode is the parrot and how it reacts in Serling's introduction.
Yes,
it's hilarious.
He's aware of him.
Yeah, and then it it cuts to the close up of the parrot and it cocks its head and you're about to enter the Twilight Zone. The parrot's like, it's hilarious. And then the rest of the episode is, for me personally, is an ordeal because we're dealing with that wonderful Serling subtlety. The subtlety of a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does play up the politics a little.
The purpose of the parrot was really for the end to gauge the height of the guy. So
that's exactly. So here we have. Well, sorry, what?
I was just gonna say, from my recollection, I think back then we had no idea how intelligent some of these birds could be. We just thought they were imitating sounds, but I've noticed as I've gotten older and they've done more research, we've come to realize that certain birds are extraordinarily intelligent. They have communication with each other. They can describe things. They have memory. And I guess maybe some old farmers already knew this about crows, but I don't think in general the public we just thought parrots were mocking machines and had no idea as to what was going on, in their thought processes. And as it turns out, they may be a lot more intelligent than we ever gave them credit for.
Yeah, my wife found out some interesting things about crows lately. It's been determined that they actually do have somewhat of a language, and they are able to remember individual human beings and associate certain traits with them, like the
And they
people
can
who are
pass,
friendly or not.
yeah, and they can pass that on to other crows, which is why
Yeah.
farmers have to wear masks when they're dealing with crows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can hold grudges and also make best friends with you.
Yeah, they did I think it was an episode of Nova. They did these experiments with crows, and they do pass on. You know, in this case, the guy was wearing a particular mask, and I'm trying to think, he was kind of doing some threatening moves, I think, or something that slightly disturbed the birds, got their attention, and they passed it on to their offspring and other
Yeah.
crows. And
Wow.
fascinating.
Yeah, they can use tools to get.
Yes,
to
that's
get
another
food.
thing. Yeah.
And they even use motor vehicles to crack open nuts. I mean, they don't drive the cars, but they drop them in the middle
drop
of
them
the
on.
street.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard of that as
But
well.
I want to make sure to say hi to Oiler Greg. He's got some beers for us. But just coffee for me in the morning. But also, there's a glove cleaner. Hello to the glove cleaner. And of course, Kim wants to mention to rest in peace Rob Reiner. And so I don't want to ignore that. That's true.
Oh,
That was a tragedy. And we're sorry.
yeah. And when you mentioned glove cleaner, the first thing that came to mind was Smell the Glove and Spinal Tap, the album they released, supposedly.
Oh wow, that must be named after the Twilight Zone episode because
And
it
Rob
is.
Reiner was in that film.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
It's
it's all
he
connected.
also directed it.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. But
And remember how he introduces himself in the film? He's like he talks about the Chuck Wagon dog food commercial. He goes, "You remember that? That was me. I directed that." I'm like, "Yeah, sure you did." It's like,
Hello to James Caserta who says horse radish. I'm not sure why.
not sure. That's a good ingredient in for meatloaf.
Oiler Greg
Oh,
says
meathead.
vote grudge parrot for president.
There you go.
Anyway, so we've got Theodore Bickle. He's playing Oliver here. Of course, as already mentioned, he plays Sergei Roshenko in Star Trek Next Generation as Worf's lovable dad. And so forget it. He's not so lovable here. He's not sweet here. He's not going to tell you about all the, all the specs and diagrams he's got at home. What he's really doing in this, Oliver is calling his employer to inform him that his employee is a communist and he must be fired for this. And it's like, how do you know? I just know, and I'm going to call my superiors if you don't fire him now. And
Commies everywhere you look, Jill.
I know. Well, I mean, and there really were communists then, but it was also a bit of a witch hunt sometimes where they would call people communists who weren't. And I think this is playing on those conspiracies.
Yeah, but Razor Fist has an excellent video. Hollywood Was Always Red. I highly recommend that. You find out the truth behind the House on Un-American Activities that was formed in the fall of '47 by a Democrat. That was the Hollywood witch hunt, which should never, ever be confused with Senator McCarthy. McCarthy was not involved in Hollywood, and I like how Hollywood likes to graft McCarthyism onto the
Right.
Hollywood witch hunt. It's like, no, he was interested in the military and government, hunting communists and that.
Yeah. And
The
after the
Hollywood
fact,
witch hunt was started by a Democrat several years earlier, in 47.
well, after the fact, a lot of the people that McCarthy implicated, it turned out that he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's I mean, and again, check out Razor Fists. Hollywood Was Always Red. It's an older video, but I highly recommend that because
Well, McCarthy might have been right, but Theodore Bickle, I don't think I would trust his judgment.
No. Stone, are you saying that Hollywood did not accurately report and reflect on a political situation? Really? I'm
Yeah, it's stunning. I mean, it's a shocker. It's no. It's like,
but he's not limiting himself to communism here either. He's showing himself he has a wide range of grudges and judgments, and he's going to get everybody, not just the communists.
Right. He's at first I thought, oh, he's just going to go after commies, but no, he goes after other people too. Oliver Kringle, played by Theodore Bickle, who had the opposite opinions of.
Oh yeah, he was. He was the polar opposite of this character, but this character stayed with him. You know, he had a blast playing it, and unfortunately, the quote in the Twilight Zone book is he says it was brilliantly written. I'm going, okay. It's like it was brilliantly played, but I thought it was rather over simplistic and. But anyway, you know, that's sterling subtlety. But Bickle is the best thing about and the parrot, the best thing in my opinion with this episode.
Both of these episodes have a Pete, and I like them both.
There you go. Yeah, Pete. Yeah, he's that was his final role. But anyway, we'll get to that one.
We'll get to that one there. But
I'm always jumping the gun. I'm so sorry.
That was my fault. I mentioned him.
I think we all knew somebody like a Kringle growing up that, you know, just sort of kind of sat in their own world, sitting in judgment upon everything and everybody. And some of them, you know, would poke their nose in other people's business and take it too far. I recall back in the 70s, like a couple of my neighbors seemed like this, maybe not to this extreme, but you know, you never walked in their yard when you were a kid, you know. Really, maybe this was actually the 60s because I was a kid, a really young, you know, you knew which houses to avoid when you were out playing in the street.
That's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know which ones not to bother those people. Hell, chat says Phantom Outsider. Hello, Phantom Outsider. The smug, self-important person thinking they are morally superior is way worse than the braggart that engages in obvious self-aggrandizement. However, combine the two, and it's even worse.
Yeah.
The thing is, the first type, I don't have to waste an iota of energy in humoring them, which makes them easier to ignore. Whereas the second type, kind of feel a little obligated to play along and you know, humor them, and it can take more energy to deal with someone like that. But again, I think I'm getting ahead.
They don't shut up. Yeah, you are getting ahead.
Yeah,
sorry. But
go ahead.
The first time I watched this episode, like, this is not one of my go-to rewatch Twilight Zones, but I still remember the first time watching it, I was riveted. Like, I had to, like, hurry up, come on, what's happening at 4:00? Like, but the rewatchability, the replay value of this is minimal for me. But boy, it was very compelling upon the first watch.
Yeah, I
agree.
I agree that it, you know, I forced myself to rewatch this because it's definitely not.
Thank you.
On
we
my
appreciate
top
your service.
No, I have to do my homework, Jill. But yeah, the rewatchability is. I mean, when I first saw this, it it just telegraphed the ending for me. So it was just basically, okay, let's just enjoy the performance.
Yeah.
But I was in high school when they were rerunning Twilight Zone. I didn't watch. It wasn't a show that I watched when I was, or my family for that matter. I think I only saw one episode when it was originally on in the 5th
Yeah,
season. So
right on.
it's so I had to wait until the mid 70s when it was syndicated on a local channel, and so I got to experience 4 seasons of it was syndicated. The 1 hour 4th season was not syndicated at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of
Well,
the
I don't
Twilight.
think I've seen a lot of the 1 hour ones.
Yeah, I've only seen a handful. I mean, I have them on Blu-ray, but I just haven't gotten around to watching them.
Yeah,
I've seen a few of them.
That unfortunately, that's the nature of Twilight Zone. Many of the episodes hinge kind of upon gimmicks because there's much about ideas, and some of them, you know, like I say, they're very compelling upon first watch. But like the one from last week with the identity, I already forgot the name.
Persons unknown.
Yeah, you know, the payoff was a little weak on that, but I'll tell you what, the storytelling going along, you know, there's a little bit of J.J. Abrams-esque storytelling in there. Like you're quite taken in by the gimmick, but in the end, it's like, oh, okay, the payoff isn't quite what you expected. You don't really have a lot of you don't always have a lot of urge to go back and rewatch that kind of thing. But for me, the best episodes of this magnificent show are the ones that you can watch over and over again and constantly discover new things about them.
Yeah, there's a handful from each season. Well, maybe not quite a handful on a few of the seasons, but that are so iconic.
Yeah, and they seem to always show up in all of the marathons.
Oh yeah,
all the major ones that everybody loves, and so everyone thinks the Twilight Zone is perfect. But you watch every single one.
Yeah, they deserve to be reshown because they're classic. But unfortunately, the show isn't consistent in quality.
So Glove Cleaner says Theodore Bickle was in a scary childhood favorite called I Bury the Living. I haven't seen it, but I
that's also with Richard Boone.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That's a while ago. That was yeah, it's been a while, but I have vague memories of that. That was like late 50s.
That was early 60s, I think. It's
early horror movie. It was pretty creepy, if I recall.
Neat. Well, now I got another one to watch. I got to catch up on a lot of horror. And I also want to say hello to the Eclectic Goat. She is driving and lurking. Thank you for listening to us.
Hey, Goat. She's in a lot of channels that I frequent. So hello there.
Istophobus, you are correct. I Bury the Living was from 1958, so I was mistaken.
I knew I was really little. I was mentioning in the chat, my parents let me watch a lot of stuff I think I had no business watching.
Oh dear!
When I was, you know, and I'll admit this. You know, I've been writing stories since I was a little kid, and I think Twilight Zone informed a lot of my very early writing, and I was overly reliant on gimmicks like this sort of thing, as my teachers love to inform me, you know, and through middle and high school.
Well, you could always tell your teacher, hey, it worked for O. Henry. Why can't I do it? You know,
I still need to see the dang O. Henry, whatever that is, because everybody's always mentioning it.
Yeah,
but
he's
let's continue.
Famous writer with had the twist.
We have not even gotten to the opening narration. So he is now accusing the teacher of being, so he's calling the employer of a teacher, saying that the teacher's being a drunkard and having inappropriate friendships with the students.
Uh-oh.
this is a really serious accusation. He's
Yeah.
making these calls, trying to ruin people's lives, even though and without giving anyone he's accusing any chance to defend themselves. This is like cancel culture, just from one man trying to
Yeah.
spite out evil that he perceives.
Yeah, thank God the internet isn't involved in this story, because
Yeah.
Krangle would have gone nuts with the internet cancel.
You really could. You
Yeah.
really could rewrite
Cancel
this
culture
episode.
in capital letters.
Yeah, but as again we found out, he might have been more correct than we thought at the time. Like, wow, there was a lot more going on than we ever suspected. So,
Oh, in reference
mean-
to McCarthy.
no, the inappropriate teachers as well.
Oh, inappropriate.
Like,
oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I know the character is supposed to be despicable, and it pulls that off. But as we've sort of learned, not always wrong either. Like,
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. If he is right about that teacher, then it's a good thing
Yeah,
he's
when
getting
he said-
exposed.
Well, what was the exact wording? Questionable relationship or something like that. And of course, the
But
first thing
that's
we
the
go to
danger
is
of
like,
that, though.
it's like, uh-oh. It's like,
I mean, if he's right, it's good. It's exposed. But then
Yeah.
at the same time, he could be getting accused for no reason. Right? There have been teachers
Yeah.
who have been accused for no
yeah,
reason.
he could
and-
be jumping to, conclusions there, or just,
Mhm.
Yeah, this opens up the possibility for a brand new story. What if Krangle was right?
About
Oh.
everyone
That would
and everything.
completely recontextualize this entire episode.
Now, the one thing I had forgotten about this episode was Krangle seems to have borrowed those, Coke bottle glasses from Burgess Meredith from the first season. It's like they look exactly the
True.
same.
They do.
Mm.
Very early trolling, says Euler Greg.
Yeah.
And yes. Phantom Outsider says something to the Wayfarer. People you're talking about are the sheeple. Unfortunately, there are still those who want to be led because it's not my fault, and they want to avoid responsibility apparently. And
Yeah,
Real
we
Wade
were
Nation
going
game.
off on a little further away than the topic of this episode.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
about that.
realized I must have missed something, but also hello to Matt G. And Oliver is explaining that he wants to destroy evil and he's going to do it at 4:00. He's not sure how yet, but it's going to come to him soon in a revelation.
Yeah.
But that's the
He-
thing.
he
We
and his-
don't know
only-
how he's going to do it.
Only his
he
parrot
doesn't.
knows. No.
Yeah, it's just somehow going to happen. How does he know? Was it prophesied?
Yeah. It's just bizarre. Now, later on, Istophobos, if you could tell us a little more about the original short story, and its mechanics, I guess, I would greatly appreciate that. Oh, there's Rod Serling.
Yeah, it is. What I think, he senses evil, but I think he senses it because he knows it's in himself, but he refuses to accept it. So he just projects it out into the world, finding it everywhere, is what I'm wondering.
Mm.
But also, Oliver also has the saying on his wall: "An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth," which explains his self-righteous crusade. He's a lone inquisitor, judging others based on crude evidence, and he stalks people. It's really creepy. But he's building a profile on them that cannot be very accurate. And what it reminds me of is that one time in Star Trek where Geordi makes a model of Leah Brahm based on what the Enterprise D knows about her, but he didn't know everything about her, so its depiction of her was very inaccurate to the real Leah.
And super creepy.
And super creepy. Yeah,
they did Geordi wrong on that ep, man. That was a uncomfortable thing to watch.
Yeah, but because of that, he should have related to Barclay a lot better than he did. But anyway, we do get to the opening narration in which Pete can totally see and is actively reacting to Rod Serling.
Yeah.
Pete is adorable. And Rod Serling says, "That's Oliver Kringle a dealer in petulance and poison. He's rather arbitrarily chosen 4 o'clock as his personal Gotterdam. Okay, I can't say that German.
Götterdämmerung.
Götterdämmerung.
Dämmerung, yeah, which is based on the Norse mythology of Ragnarok.
Yes,
Yeah,
it brought me
translates
back to
into
my music
Twilight of the
studies.
Gods.
Yeah, it's basically a destruction of world, immersion in water, and then rebirth. Just real simple. That's kind of an oversimplification.
Oh,
yeah.
And then I guess it translated later on with Noah's Ark and all that.
Well, that was Noah's Ark. It's a it may be inspired by that. Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting. It's I guess it's in the Norse mythology. It's a war among the many Norse gods, and then things being remade. But yeah, it's based on Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Ragnarok, but Götterdämmerung literally translates into Twilight of the Gods.
Okay.
Götterdämmerung.
Almost like an apocalypse, lifting of the veil.
But it has Twilight in it. Everybody, get it?
What's going on beneath
Thank you,
the
guys.
surface?
So he's rather arbitrarily chosen 4 o'clock as his personal Götterdämmerung. And we are about to watch the metamorphosis of a twisted fanatic, poisoned by the gangrene of prejudice, to the status of an avenging angel, upright and omniscient, dedicated and fearsome. Whatever your clocks say, it's 4 o'clock. And wherever you are, it happens to be the Twilight Zone.
I'm wondering why they didn't shift it to 4:30.
4:20, man. It's got to be 4:20, man.
4:20, whatever.
Or 4:15. No.
Oh, well, Greg, yeah, he's flipping it too. Mocking those who point at the truth is a great way to diminish the ability to reveal you are evil. Yeah, that's true. Yes, exactly. That's the twist, actually. And also, Oliver was the very early model of the HOA Karen.
Yep.
You could plug that guy into any HOA anywhere, and he'd fit right in.
Yeah, really.
Jordy, oh my God, Gavin. Jordy did
like
take
I
us to
said,
a hologram.
We all knew a Kringle.
DJ Plainus is here. Hello. Great to see you. And he's just stopping by, but I appreciate him. Spend 5 minutes or 5 hours. It's great. I call it goddamn ring. 4:19. Got a minute. Oh, hey, hello. Hello, Low Spexlingus Gaming. So, yes, so Mrs. Williams is delivering Oliver's mail. And so he was just relaxing, but when he realizes she's at the door, he immediately starts looking like he's busy and he starts working. I think he's just trying to make himself look more important. Oh, look, there's the little head tilt.
Yeah, you got that. Excellent.
That's beautiful.
She comments that he has enough mail to consider that he might be working a mail order business. And he tells her to mind his privacy, which is really ironic considering what he does.
Yeah.
The lack of self-awareness is somewhat telling here.
Yes. And as she leaves, he says that she'll thank him one day if she's still around to have that capacity. And so she sees that as a threat.
Mrs. Williams is played by Mona McGill, who is the mother of Angela Lansbury. Can you see the resemblance?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know if Oliver can see the resemblance with those crazy glasses, but
why do they always? Probably can't see anything.
Yeah.
Why do they always give the bad guy Coke bottles?
Yeah, man.
Well, now Burgess Meredith's character isn't a bad guy.
Magoo wasn't bad.
Yeah, neither is Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. He's like the least bad of the
Yeah,
of
but
these guys.
Burgess Meredith is somewhat self-absorbed and uninterested in the flow of life with everybody else. So
Well, he has faults, but he
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
a
but
bad guy.
we
He's
okay,
not
yeah, that's a
bad.
good way to put it.
well, I feel sorry for him because that shrew of a wife that ruins his books and destroys them. I mean,
Yeah, he's sympathetic and he
yeah,
just wants to read his books and he'd tell everybody about those stories.
yeah,
So Oliver says he's talking about what he does with all this information that he collects with people, and if he finds out that they're evil, then they must be punished. If, on the other hand, they're simply misled or naive, then I point them to the right way. And he
Evil.
shows her the card that he's collected on her. And he says that she's not subversive, but he does have data on her he's yet to analyze, I guess, to taunt her with that. But also that she's her negative traits are that she's curious and ignorant.
Oh dear,
He's kind of a jerk.
he is a jerk. He's a self-righteous bastard.
Yeah, and he tells her of his 4 o'clock plan. Of course, he doesn't know what he's doing yet.
Yes.
But he says he's going to expose evil, pinpoint it, eliminate it, exercise it. And then he knocks over the lamp.
Yeah.
And she just leaves.
Kind of like a symbol for brightness being shut off. Turning off
Yeah.
the light.
Yeah. Did we go over the fact that Rod Serling did have some friends that were sort of blacklisted during the whole Hollywood witch hunt phase?
I didn't talk about that. If you wish,
Yeah, as a writer, especially during the heyday of the live television dramas. Yeah, he rubbed shoulders with a lot of writers that got blacklisted.
So this was somewhat of a personal story for him as well.
Yeah, and Jill, are you gonna relate Bickle's anecdote?
No, I wasn't planning on doing it. So,
Oh, okay.
before you do that, I want to
No, I'm gonna wait.
Okay, you can wait also. But the eclectic goat says, I gotta go hit up a woman for an interview. Hopefully I'll be back before you're done. I hope it goes well. Have a good time.
Definitely.
And Brogu says a mail order business. He next tells her, I have a special delivery for you.
Oh no.
No, that's a completely different Twilight Zone that I do not want to see. So, and then that's it. Mrs. Lucas is being warned by Mrs. Williams. So Mrs. Lucas is the younger lady here.
Yeah, it's portrayed by Phyllis Love, and of course, whenever I see her, I think of a particular Outer Limits episode, right? Istafocus. Are you familiar with that? She was in the first season episode of Outer Limits called A Feasibility Study.
Yes.
Which is a nice creepy episode, but that's how I remember her.
Yeah, the title of the ep wasn't coming. I was booming.
Yeah, feasibility study. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's worth checking out. I don't want to derail the stream, but it is an excellent.
Episode. And the opening just was seared on my brain as a 4-year-old child. That's one thing I remember about that episode is how it opens. But anyway, back to 4 o'clock.
Well, Mrs. Williams says, I just like how she describes him. He has a leak in his attic a mile wide.
Yeah, definitely.
And Mrs. Lucas goes anyway because she has to find out why he's slandering her husband, who is a good doctor. but very sensitive to any attempts at disparaging his work as a healer. And of course, Mr. Kringle disagrees.
Yeah, it's totally unfair because it's obvious what the issue was by what, Mrs. Lucas described, the situation her husband was in. The hospital
You could say it was triage problems.
Was grossly understaffed.
Yeah.
And he didn't get to the woman in time because of this. So I would, it's like, okay, who's responsible? Why don't you go after the administrator then instead of the individual
definitely.
doctor?
Yeah. It definitely seems like it's more of a whole entire hospital problem rather than his.
Yeah, but there's going to be no ambiguity here. Kringle is not going to show any kind of reasonableness whatsoever. So the point, in a more maybe realistic story, there could be instances where he was right, but the point of this story is that he's not willing to listen. And again, with the scene about his privacy, the complete lack of self-awareness and hypocrisy that he is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's completely irrational at this point, but she's trying to protect her husband.
Yeah, and he's also irredeemable, which is the purpose of the.
And what we're talking about is that one time where I guess Dr. Lucas had a patient who he couldn't get to in time, and this Mrs. Angela died because he failed to relieve pressure as a result of a brain injury sustained in a traffic accident. And I think that is, I think Sonoreka gave a good explanation as to why that happened. There weren't enough doctors around. It seems like there were too many patients for him to take care of. And that's what happened. But Oliver Kringle pins it all on him and writes the hospital that he's a murderer.
Yeah, basically passing judgment from the results you come up with in looking at your files. Paperwork over actually being there.
Right.
Yeah, what does Kringle care about saving a life or not anyway? And like Miss Lucas says also, he doesn't really know about the medical field. He's commenting on something he knows not much of.
And she also talks about that he's never met her husband. Doesn't know him at all.
Right. So why are you trying to hurt somebody you don't even know?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a brave woman to confront him directly.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a well acted scene. And
yeah, she's awesome.
And I think this is the scene that shows that, yeah, he's pretty much a bad guy and he's not going to listen to reason. And any sort of redeemable characteristics he might have are out the window here.
Yeah.
Just because he feeds a nut to his parrot, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah. As he's looking out the window, that's where you see it, because then he does the famous villain monologue, so to speak, about his plans. And that she's the one that gives him the idea for creating the punishment.
That's true. He does. But before he does that, he tries to ignore her, just like he was trying to ignore Mrs. Williams, just trying to get back to work and just acting like the conversation is done before it's done. He's trying to make it over before it's over. And so he's reading a book about some kind of airplanes or something. And the staff, the staff for Dr. Lucas don't believe the letters, but it really bothers him. He's really sensitive about it. And that's when he gets his awful idea. Here he is at that window, like you mentioned. And she asks him why. Why does he do this? You don't know him. He says, because they're evil. Does anybody want to read the evil plan that he figures out? Oh my goodness.
Stonereka, isn't this what you were going to?
No, I was going to talk about Theodore Bickle's anecdote that he relates.
Oh, okay. So basically he says, why? Because they're evil. That's it. There's nothing complicated about that. They're evil. All those little bugs out there. Bacteria. That's what they are. That's what your husband is. bacteria. Those little. That's it. And that's when he laughs maniacally. Does anybody have a good maniacal laughter? That's precisely it.
Yeah,
That-
there's a little metaphor going on too, where he only sees the world through his tiny little window. He only has a single point of view perspective that's quite narrow, and he
And
doesn't.
he's nearsighted.
Yeah.
And yep,
yes, and
in
that's
so
why
many
yeah.
ways.
Although I will point out that traditional Coke bottle glasses are farsighted type, the type that actually magnifies. So, when you see somebody and their eyes look really big, those are glasses. Those are presbyopia or farsighted glasses, not nearsighted.
Oh, that's right. He is farsighted because
Yeah,
he needs
yeah,
to get close to near things so he can see further way better. It's the closer up stuff that he needs to get closer to because he can't see it well.
yeah.
So I
They
guess
often
he's
get
technically
this.
farsighted.
Yeah, they often get that wrong just because I don't know if it's the visual metaphor or the drama of the big bulging eyes, but real nearsighted glasses make your eyes all tiny.
Well, I was wrong to begin with. He technically would be farsighted because farsighted means you can see distance. Your trouble is the closer stuff.
Yeah,
The
That
terms
makes
are
sense.
used in the opposite of what I was thinking to begin with. It's if you're nearsighted, you can see closer up, but not that well at a distance. So
yeah, and that happens to everyone as they age and require reading glasses. But the the real kicker is when you're nearsighted and old, and so you become both nearsighted and farsighted. You can't.
Yeah,
Catch
I've got them both already, so I've already got it going on when my eyesight actually starts degrading in my old. Hello to not Z3PO and John the Beagle Dad. Great to see both of you here. Under a microscope, even a rose is ugly. Oh, I, I don't know. I don't know if it. I have a microscope. Now all I need is a rose.
it's not meant to be taken literally.
I want to prove James Caserta. Well, okay, anyway. At 4 o'clock, he's decided he's going to turn everybody to 2 feet tall. So everybody he just deems evil, rather, not everybody, just the people he thinks are evil are going to be 2 feet tall now, and he's so
Yeah,
happy to have figured this out.
and we're back to little people again, Jill.
Yeah. The little people from
Little
last
people.
week.
That's right.
And this episode's a little bit similar too, in the idea that the main bad guy thinks that he can lord over everyone and judge others. And so just like Homer going through the hedges, Mrs. Lucas backs away and leaves. And so he's got his plan, and now he starts writing over his framed copy of the Gettysburg Address, crossing out the line stating that all men are created equal. Oh yeah, he's going to do a great task. Then he hears some stomping up the stairs. He knows that it's a visitor, and he lets him in before he can start knocking. And this is Mr. Hall. He's from the FBI, answering Mr. Kringle's call. Mr. Kringle's also called the police, the fire department, and Washington, D.C. However, he doesn't think D.C. will get his call because the Reds have taken over by now, according to him.
Well, the FBI is DC also, so I don't know what he meant by Washington,
Yeah, I know.
DC.
I know. I know.
Which branch?
Yeah, I assume it was the executive branch and maybe, I don't know, Justice Department. They're affiliated but separate. Or I mean, actually, the DOJ is part of the FBI is part of the DOJ. So, yeah, who would you call in DC that's not part of that? That's not part of that mechanism involving the FBI.
The
Oh, maybe
Congressional Switchboard.
maybe the military. That's what he was going.
Pentagon.
Gonna call
Well,
the CIA.
trying to figure out what Oliver is being a conspiracy theorist about is difficult. But he is explaining how he's made a study of evil. Oh no, there's an alarm for no reason on my phone.
That's the same one I have.
It was at this moment he knew.
Yeah. Well, Krangle says that he's been making a study of evil, and he listens to the radio, he watches TV, he's cutting out newspaper clippings, writing letters, and making phone calls to ruin people's lives, waking them up, speaking my charges, and then hanging up. Very frustrating. And then I like the response from Agent Hall when he says that evil people don't like being woken up at night, and he says, "Who does?"
Yeah, who does? It's like- yeah, this this FBI agent is played by Lyndon Childs, and whenever I see him, he played the brother of David Vincent, the David Vincent character in the sci-fi series The Invaders. So every time I see him, I go, "Hey, that's David Vincent's brother."
I still
Small
need to
bit
see
of
The
trivia.
Invaders.
Sorry about that. But
No, don't be.
Well-
Well, anyway.
When people watch old TV shows, it's easy to forget that, these were the actors of their time. You saw them in Gunsmoke, you saw them in everything.
Nanza.
Yeah, just like when you're watching Star Trek, or Mission Impossible, it's like everybody who's ever been on a Star Trek has also been on Mission Impossible. It's just, that those were the current actors in Hollywood at the time, and they show up in a lot of places, but you miss a little bit of that when you're going so far back in time that you might only see them in this one thing.
Yes. And so then Mr. Kringle gives him his big evil plan, and that is to rid the evil people of the world by making them become half their size, and so they're going to make themselves extinct because of
Jill,
Yes?
1/3 their size.
Oh, 1/3 their size. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. 2 feet tall. So
Hmm.
Yeah, when
1/3.
was Land of the Giants?
That was in
as a kid.
68.
Okay, yeah, they might have gotten the idea for that show from this.
Yeah,
It's,
Stone Racket, I'm 5 feet tall, so that's probably why I'm thinking half.
Yeah, not everybody is 6 feet tall, Rod Serling, and he ought to know because he was a short guy, like me.
But anyway, Pete is asking for a nut, just like you said earlier. It's exactly the right time.
Yeah.
Right after he
Nut!
does this.
That made me laugh every time he did that. It was funny.
Poor Mr. Hall is just like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to shrink these people? And
With this miniaturization device I invented. Oh
Yeah.
no,
he's
no.
got
That's a good
Wait,
question.
Yeah, it's like what? That's why I want to know about the original story. It's like, well, what the heck?
is there a
Where's it?
shrinking device?
Yeah, it's like, what the heck is it out? By sheer will. I'm like, you're not God. What the hell's going on here?
Exactly. So Mr. Hall has heard enough, but Mr. Kringle is still talking,
Yeah.
delighted in his own brilliance.
His own insanity.
Well, speaking of insanity, Mr. Hall asks, "Have you ever had any
Yeah.
psychiatric help? Because you sound completely irrational."
Yeah. And Krangle really loved to hear that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That made him so happy.
Oh, you know what? I know what's going on. You're one of those communists.
Well,
Yeah. They've infiltrated the FBI.
and I believe it's almost verbatim, by an act of pure concentrated mental power, he is going to shrink the evil people.
Yes, sir. That is how he explains it. It's just magic. This one is the one that should have had Hocus Pocus in the title.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
he needs to be locked up in the loony bin.
yeah, he does. Mr. Hall explains that he doesn't need Mr. Kringle's help within the matter because they have a way to enact justice already. It's called the law.
Yeah, and at this point in the episode, I think, okay, they're telegraphing the ending. You're really only in it for the parrot at this point.
Right.
I am in it for
Yeah.
the parrot because
I
Oliver's
agree.
just a crazy narcissist.
Yeah. And it's interesting that the FBI agent, doesn't, call the white coats in to get this guy right away. It's like
That's John
it's
Racket,
like
isn't that what they
you
always
are
do?
a dangerous individual and you need professional help.
Well,
Would
you
have
don't know
had
he
just
didn't do that.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
we can
Yeah.
write our own little
Well, and if he
epilogue,
did
I
do
guess.
that, he kind of saved his life if he did that. Because, well, as we'll see in just a second. In the original story, these other characters weren't in the story, so in the original short story. So I'm glad they added all these characters. And the actual name of Pete was way worse in the short story because he just calls it Pet. Hey, Pet. That's like, or that's even worse than naming it Bird or Parrot.
Yeah.
Like,
So he just called it Pet in the short story.
yes,
Well,
but I see how
just add an E.
Yeah, to make it a boy. It was a girl. But anyway, now he's excited because it's almost 4:00, and he's looking out his window because he wants to see everybody turn little. But he's just delighted at his own brilliance here. And the parrot gets one last nut before we find that it is 4:00. Oh, he's turning a little key in this clock over here for some reason.
Yeah, he's winding it up.
Yeah. How often do you have to wind up clocks?
For grandfather clock, or that's a good question.
It really depends on the clock.
Yeah.
Most of them are designed to allow for at least 24 hours of stored motion. But
Yeah.
Oh,
You should
nice.
try to do it same time every day, and you're usually good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never owned a grandfather clock, which is why I've asked.
like
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, something's falling.
Oh dear. Jill, what's happening?
Oh no, just everything's falling.
You're
but
not
everything's
half
fine.
your height.
No, I know it. I can't reach the thing.
I can't
They're
reach.
falling on
That-
top. No,
that-
okay, so that's the twist. He's become a victim of his own punishment. He is now one of the very little people. It seems smaller than 2 feet tall. And
Yeah.
now
Parrot
he's
Did
Yeah.
anyone else shrink though? That's my
Well,
my
the
question.
thing is, no, absolutely no one else shrunk. It's kind of a divine punishment. Only he is little. If we're following Serling, the thrust of the story is that Krangle is the only miniaturized guy because he's the
yeah.
evil.
Now,
unless he's hallucinating this whole thing. And
That's another this could all be a fever dream.
Yeah. Jill, was that a sound effect or did something actually fall down?
No, something actually did fall down.
Oh.
I was stacking some stuff that I probably
Oh.
shouldn't have been stacking. and
Oh
it fell.
dear.
What perfect timing though. Like like it really I thought you had the sound effect machine.
Well, Jill's comedic timing is impeccable.
Nut. Oh, wait. Yeah, so the parrot is now asking for Nut, but he cannot comply.
He's gonna need a boost.
Yeah, he's gonna have to stand on top of his trash can, turn it upside down or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's just say in the short story he becomes the nut and I'm sure he wished he had fed
Well,
the
that's what
victim
I
better.
was thinking. If Mr. Krangle can feed him the nut and whatever bird seed he has for his parrot, he'll be safe for a little while. But I did find whenever desperate, a normally plant happy animal like a parrot can resort to being an omnivore.
Yes, and this one did.
And this one did.
In the most horrific of ways.
Yeah, I didn't read that short story, but I thought of that idea before I did.
Yeah, but in
It
the
works.
short story, how how tall is he? Is he 2 feet tall, like in the Twilight Zone episode here?
Um, I'm honestly, I'm not sure. It's been so long. Like a lot
Because
of those Hitchcock stories
yeah,
weren't really worth revisiting.
yeah, because even at 2 feet, that parrot is no match for Krangle. So I find it hard to believe. He probably has to be very, very little in the short story for the parrot to be an absolute threat.
Well, just imagine it, Stone Racket. He does feed the parrot some bird seed, and he can eat a little bit himself, but can he really work a can opener at that size? And eventually, he's going to get weak and hungry, and when he's
Oh
weak enough,
no. He'll be able to get help. He can
he could call the phone.
he can climb up on his desk and manipulate the phone. He can yell for help, pound on his door.
The way that's going to end up is
anyway.
the CIA is going to investigate this abnormally small human being, lock them up, and then dissect them. That's the way that goes.
No.
They want to know the power.
The land of the giants Scotch taped the little people of the spindrift onto a microscope slide, and then tickled them with a pencil eraser.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was also thinking of an idea where some people did turn small, not just him, just the actual evil people, maybe some of the murderers and everything, and they all get together and form an underground society.
Oh no!
With the making friends with rodents.
I just looked up.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just looked up the story. It was exactly 2 feet tall. The idea was that regardless of your original height, all the evil people would have been shrunken down to exactly 2 feet tall.
Well, he can't be I was interpreting it as not the evil people that were shrunk, but just him, because it was his own.
Right.
No. It was just him.
Hubris.
I'm saying, but his idea was he was going to shrink everyone to exactly 2 feet tall.
Okay.
In the story, it was just him that shrank, but
still, the parrot wouldn't be a threat to a 2 foot tall person.
I'm not so sure of that. Have you ever
that beak?
Yeah, and it depends on the relative strength. Humans are relatively very weak to their body size.
I've got kung fu grip, buddy. No,
like, think of how quickly that bird can flap its wings compared to how you can flap your arms. And a chimpanzee at already half the size of a human male already has.
No, we're talking about parrots, not chimpanzees.
Yeah, but a parrot doesn't just have the beak, but also talons.
Yeah.
And
I
think it would be a good fight. He would have to arm himself, though. He has no natural weapon.
Yeah, right. He'd have to get a kitchen knife.
Well, the thing is that never mind.
A pickle jar lid and a sharp pencil. He might have a fighting chance.
Okay, let's get to the closing narration. But now I really want to see this parrot battle.
Yeah, it's the gladiator battle of our
what
time.
I would do is look at that wastebasket, trap the parrot in that. Just
see, I thought that was the wastebasket, but I think it's like the part of the parrot.
Oh, yeah.
Perch.
Yeah, you're correct, Jill. It is the one of the 2 feeding cups, it looks like, on the perch.
But I had the same idea. So, closing narration, at 4:00, an evil man made his bed and lay in it. A pot called a kettle black, a stone thrower, broke the windows of his glass house. You look for this one under F for fanatic and J for justice in the Twilight Zone.
And I'm not sure a 2-foot man would be able to lift a full-size trash can and tip it over, man. That would be
Wastebasket, me bucko, not a trash can. Waste bucket.
waste
Waste
basket.
basket.
I was thinking of those little. When I said that earlier, I was
Yeah.
thinking of those little ones that you toss paper in next to
Yep.
your office desk.
That's why
Yeah.
you keep your letter openers sharpened. So if you get shrunk, you can use it as a broadsword.
There you go.
This is a good slide. Why wasn't I on this one?
Well,
You
it is
can't
your
get the
thumbnail.
nuts.
That's
It is.
yeah. But the end titles, what do they use? They use the parrot.
They do. No, the parrot's charming.
Yeah, just think of how heavy those 5-gallon water jugs are, and if you were shorter than them, yeah, I'm saying if his strength shrunk proportional to his size, he's going to be outmatched by most natural fauna.
We got Gavin Blackburn says he'll end up trapped in a spider's web, shouting, "Help me!"
No, he's not that small.
All I know is my GI Joes had a hell of a time with the waste baskets, man. They always ended up trapping themselves.
Of course, the GI Joes that I grew up with were like 14 inches tall.
Yeah,
and
roughly.
And then the 70s, they came out with the talking GI Joes. And you would pull their dog tags, and they would speak. You know, you pull, they'd be like one of those dolls, talking dolls with the pull string, and it just spun a little record inside the chest cavity of the doll. It was kind of a smaller version of that. But yeah, these modern collectors with GI Joes, it's like these dinky things about 4 inches tall,
Yeah,
5 inches tall. I'm like, those aren't GI Joes.
Yeah, no, they were Barbie sized.
They were actually taller than Barbie.
Oh, they could put a pretty good fight up to a Ken doll, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, no match for GI Joe. Ken doll is a wimp.
Yeah, Ken is soft. He's had even though he goes to the gym, he's had no military or combat training.
That's right.
You can tell because all the GI Joes had beards and scars, so you know they were tough.
Yeah. Yeah, the initial GI Joes didn't have the beards. That was kind of that was later. That was kind of a gimmick, and then because of the Vietnam War, they started having the GI Joes, like they had an archaeologist GI Joe figure, and just different non-military kind of things for a while there. And I think that's about the time they introduced the GI Joes with beards and actual hair glued on the top instead of just plastic form.
The more you know.
Yeah, I would ask Gavin if he's ever tried to wrangle a living turkey or a small eagle.
Yes, this is what I wanted to read. If the situations were reversed, parrots are about 12 inches tall. So would a full-size human be threatened by a 3-foot tall parrot?
Possibly.
Yeah, with a razor sharp beak and talons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, I'm threatened by a 2-foot raccoon. Like they look all nice.
They are vicious.
Oh yeah, when they are threatened, they are frightening. They hiss and they have very sharp teeth and those creepy little raccoon hands. And
Istophobus, are you cornering raccoons?
I did have a raccoon problem a while back, and they mostly, they move very smoothly and docile. And I used to encounter them in the wild, like camping. I'd go camping a lot. There are a bunch of islands on the intercoastal that are pretty pristine around this part of the Southeast. Raccoons are all over the place. They usually end up stealing your food, no matter how you try to lock it up. they managed to get into it. But I'm not cornering one, but I did trap one once. And when the animal control guy came to transfer the cage, he had his little loop thing and he put it in the cage. And that's when the raccoon felt threatened. And that's when he transformed from a seemingly docile creature to a very frighteningly vicious little guy. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they call them trash pandas.
Yeah.
Because they do get into everything.
Yeah, but the park ranger at Cumberland Island said that he actually saw a raccoon open up a padlock in one of their food lockers. So
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, there was a recent story about not a panda, dang it, raccoon breaking into a liquor store, getting massively wasted and passing out in the restroom.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I generally know better than to corner any sort of wildlife or wild animals, but my personal experience was that I saw in my own cooler that was bungee corded shut, 2 raccoons were holding up the lid while the third raccoon went in and scooped all the food out. And I'm like, wow, that's teamwork. Those guys are pretty clever.
They're like crows.
Jill, did you want me to read from?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
Theodore
If anybody
Bickle.
has anything more about the episode, please. This is a good time, starting with Stone Racket.
And it's all right if I read this whole thing.
Yeah, if you think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is Theodore Bickle. As you may rightly assume, my portrayal of Oliver Crandall stayed in my memory much longer than the many parts I had played on TV and elsewhere. It was a superbly written episode and a wonderful character to get my teeth into. Crandall was, of course, politically the very opposite of where my own convictions lie. Then and now, to portray a right-wing nut gave me great pleasure. You may be interested in an incident that occurred later, not just because of my involvement, but because of Rod Serling's reaction. He made reference to his own origins while taking a public stand as a citizen and a human being of conscience. Sometime after the episode aired, Rod Serling had an opportunity to defend me on an actual right-wing against an actual right-wing verbal assault made on a television talk show in which 2 veteran actors with very reactionary views, Adolph Menjou and Corinne Griffiths, attacked me. They did so not for the views I espoused. That would have been all right by any civil libertarian standards. But they challenged my right to voice them at all on the grounds that I was a, quote, foreigner, unquote. Not just foreign-born, mind you, but a foreigner who had no right to open his mouth at all. I do not recall whether at that point I was already a citizen or not, but that should have made no difference. Even resident aliens legally admitted to the United States are entitled to all rights and privileges except for the vote. And Serling went on that same program, and he had a few things to say. And let's see. And Serling said, on this program, an actor of considerable stature appeared by invitation. Apart from his talents, which are considerable, his reputation as a gentleman and a human being is probably the most unsullied and exemplary of any man in this profession. He was subjected to a vicious and predatory attack by Miss Corinne Griffiths because of the fact that he was of foreign birth. To Miss Griffiths and anyone else who thinks that honor and patriotism can only be equated with those whose roots go deep into the third deck planking of the Mayflower, go over the roll call of the Congressional Medal of Honor winners. They read like a checklist from Ellis Island. And he concluded by making a reference to his own background. A democracy works because its basic tenet is simply the recognition of the dignity of its citizens, the kind of dignity that permits the son of Lithuanian immigrants to say, "Judge a man, Miss Griffiths, as a man. Judge a human being by his works. Judge a human being by his compassion and his sincerity. Judge all of us not by our geography, but by our humanity." So that's quite a defense.
Well, I don't want to go off politically, but I don't disagree with anything he said. In fact,
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
But I will note there was an emphasis on, legality there.
Yeah, and obviously, as he said, he did go for citizenship and get it, and there was nothing. He was legal.
Yeah, he was legally admitted, and he at that time that he talked about rights and privileges except for to vote, and he's absolutely correct.
Yeah, freedom of speech is beyond just citizenry.
Yeah, it was definitely wrong for that TV program to
just
react to him the way they did.
Yeah, and I wish now they don't say what program it was, but boy, whoever the host was should have called them out right there. But I'm glad Serling got on there and spoke his mind.
Now, was this the actress Corinne Griffith, or was this a political commentator?
He said two actors, Adolf Menjou and Corinne Griffiths. I've never heard of Corinne Griffiths. I've heard of Adolf Menjou, but Corinne Griffiths I'm not familiar with. But he said they're two actors, so it's like okay.
But the point of it is that Serling is a really good friend.
Oh yeah, he is intolerant to that kind of nonsense. It's just this outright racism.
Well,
on that happy note, let's go to Hocus-Pocus and Frisby.
Well, it was happy because eventually he did overcome. It did seem like it does seem.
Oh yeah, he remarkable actor. He's in one of my favorite Columbo episodes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I finally saw a couple of those.
He in that episode, real quick, Theodore Bickle portrays an individual that's in a Mensa kind of like group, high IQ, and he actually was a part of that group because he had a high IQ in real life. But the Columbo episode, he's of course the guest star murderer, but he's one of these high IQ people.
Where was Theodore Bickle from?
Lithuania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've just started rewatching Columbo in my quest to go back and rewatch older TV shows.
Yes.
And I was surprised. The first season, not really as good as I remember. They're more like 2-hour television movies. So there's only like 8 of them in the first season.
There's 7 in the first season, and they're all around 75 minutes because they were shown in a 90-minute slot. And then it was the second season where they kind of went back and grafted some more footage onto the premiere episode to make the first 2-hour. But then every once in a while they would do a 2-hour or full 90-minute. But yeah, the first season, the first season has some good episodes. Let's
leave that for a short leave where Stone Rocket will tell us all about Columbo and which seasons are the best. James Caserta says.
But I want to talk. Oh, yeah, right, Jill. Sorry about that. Let's get back to Twilight Zone.
Please, just to finish off the last one, James Caserta says his landlady came back to a bloody scene in a fat parrot days later.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, well, that is how the short story ended.
So we're moving on to Hocus Pocus and Frisby. And it first aired on April 13th, 1962. It was written by Rod Serling, but it looks like the story by credit should go to Frederick Louis Fox because
Yeah.
it is based on one of his unpublished stories.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
It
And
was
April
direct.
13th, it was Friday the 13th in 62.
Ooh. It was directed by Lamont Johnson with music by Tom Morgan.
Back to back
And
Lamont Johnsons.
yeah, he's a wonderful recurring director.
Yes,
Obviously,
he
they
is.
love him
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Twilight Zone set. So we sent her in on a store called Frisby's General Store. And you already know how, even before meeting him, you know how much of a braggart he is. Because right underneath it says the Gimbal and Macy's of Pitchville Flats. It's beautiful. And so people enjoy hanging out at this general store. Frisbee's talking about a war experience he's had where they had to enfilade and which I suppose is some sort of thing you do in the war to help win.
It's
probably to fight.
It's enfilade and defilade. They're two formations involving sort of crossfire and defensive positions. So you definitely, if you're in the offense, you want to be in an enfilade.
Okay. And you said defilade or defilade?
Defilade is the opposite of that, where you're sort of pinned down in a crossfire. So basically, enfilade would be where your enemy fire sweeps down the length of your formation, making it vulnerable. It's from the French word enfilade, I think. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't speak French.
Thank you.
It means to thread. So it basically means you're likely to hit somebody regardless of what you're aiming at.
Mm-hmm. So
and
he was
opposite. Yeah. Let's not get too sorry.
No, but thank you. I wanted to know what that was. I meant to go back and look that one up. So then Frisbee also starts playing on his mouth organ, which of course is a harmonica. And that's our Chekhov's gun for this episode, which we'll see later, which is really great. We're not talking about it yet, but it's fun.
Oh, and spoilers.
Spoilers. I think this one has a fun setup. And it's interesting. I like Andy Devine. I think I like him. Old man is just trying to grocery shop, and he asks where some of the items are located. And so he's got to actually ring up himself at the cash register. And meanwhile, the men are listening to him, and they're noticing discrepancies in his stories. And they call him a liar because there's no way he could have gotten from Paris to Berlin in just 1 hour. And I looked it up too. Even right now in 2025 with a commercial jet passenger airline, the flight takes 1 hour and 45 minutes. I'm not sure how long it would take if you got your own airplane. I'm sure you might be able to do an hour now. But back then, probably not. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know how fast the airplanes were then.
Well,
I didn't do the math.
It's about 1,000 kilometers from Paris to Berlin. So,
yeah,
that's not going to be done in an hour.
Right. Agreed. And so this is where he starts to sense that they're about to blow apart his lies. So he changes the subject to the weather, and he knows all about the clouds, and that he's so brilliant that he created a well-renowned meteorology text that people still use when he was only 13 years old. But nobody is really believing him at this point. They just enjoy hanging out at his store and listening to his silly stories. Lyndon makes a great joke. This guy's a meteorologist. If this guy's a meteorologist, I'm Vice President Johnson. And so everybody's fighting over the same nuts, and it's kind of fun. And yeah, so then he explains how he's been on the forefront of computer technology. So he's this great war hero. He's meteorologist. He's computer scientist. He's everything. He's shaped history all over the world. So he was there with the computers, and he is like a calculator himself. He cannot even ring up this old man, who is the Pete of this episode. And I think Stone Racket had his name. Where is he? I'm looking for him in my notes. This is Clem Bevans. He was born on October 16th, 1879. So this makes him the earliest born actor on the Twilight Zone, according to some trivia I found. I don't know if we find an older person, I'll see if I can amend it, but that one seems to be it. 1879. That is pretty far back. This is also his last acting credit. And so that's interesting to me, because I've more than once I've seen an actor in the 1800s here. But this is the oldest one. And so Frisbee's done it all.
Kind of young.
Right? Yeah. He was there before the train. Wait. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, so he did all the computers. And this other guy says, well, that just does it. I mean, I can't take it anymore, Frisbee. I wouldn't mind if you were a bright liar or if there was some logic to it. But the way you tell it, you'd have to be 100 different people living in 200 places during 12 periods of American history. And then somebody's honking outside, and we get our opening narration. The reluctant gentleman with the sizable mouth is Mr. Frisby. He has all the drive of a broken camshaft and the aggressive vinegar of a corpse. As you've no doubt gathered, his big stock in trade is the tall tale. Now, what he doesn't know is that the visitors out front are a very special breed, destined to change his life beyond anything even his fertile imagination could manufacture. The place is Pitcherville Flats. The time is the present. But Mr. Frisbee's on the first leg of a rather fanciful journey into the place we call the Twilight Zone. Thank you. Gavin says, the common clay of the land? Idiots. And so he's supposed to help a customer outside who's honked their horn. And he immediately says, why haven't you filled it up yourself? And that's the thing, is I don't have that kind of... it's always self-serve here in Texas.
Not used to rear engines.
Right, because they're alien. Wait, spoilers. But right, they don't know how to fill up the gas tank, so that's why they haven't done it. And so that makes Frisbee go into a tizzy about how knowledgeable he is too about cars. And so he claims that he's developed the rear engine as a favor to Henry Ford himself. Good grief. And so yes, he's just Frisbee is the most famous, important person ever. And so
he also did liquid propellants.
Yeah, liquid propellant. Well,
that
and
was his
also
nickname.
Here his nickname is Old Rear Engine Frisbee. And that's his catchphrase, basically, is to whatever that war.
I used to know a woman whose nickname was Old Rear Engine, and it was not a compliment.
Oh my God. But he says he's the granddaddy of the American automobile. My goodness. This is it must be very tiring to visit the Frisbee store and have to listen to all those stories just to get your groceries. But apparently this car isn't even a Henry Ford car. It's supposed to be some kind of French car. So even then he's wrong. Renault Caravelle is what
a Renault.
A Renault.
Renault is a, mostly well-known French brand of car that never seems to be running. That's the company that I think it was the 70s that created a car called Le Car, which is just, the car.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it was supposed to be sort of, like I guess the French version of the Volkswagen. Just supposed to be a cheap, I don't know. It's like, yeah, it looked a little bit like a AMC Pacer. And it was supposed to be, a cheap, convenient car. It's sort of a cult classic amongst collectors.
Are you talking about
neat.
the
Okay.
Renault Caravelle?
No, the Renault Le Car.
It's a Caravelle, 62.
Yes, it's a Caravelle. Yeah, this particular car is a Caravelle, but
Right. But I'm talking, it's the same company that created
Mhm.
a thing called Le Car.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking about a different model, okay, or different car.
Yeah, but
I just rejoined the panel here. I'm sorry. I wasn't
Okay.
listening
It's okay.
to until just a moment ago.
Yeah, we were talking about Renault. So later on, they introduced a model called the Car.
Le Car.
Was the size of a shoebox, says glove cleaner. And he belies all of his genius by not knowing where to put the gasoline. So he's just a goofball that makes up stuff, and most of his friends know he's making stuff up. And then we hear the secret talk of these customers, and that's how we find out that they see him as a specimen, a genius, that he knows everything, and he's got 8 doctorates. And so he's like, he's almost got as many he's got one more doctorate than Sam Beckett from Quantum Leap.
To be honest with you, by the time you're getting 8, you're really reducing, your intelligence at that point. Because
you've just made it.
You should burn out after 1 or 2.
Yeah, you just made your entire life your education. Have you really learned anything?
Yeah, it actually took me a second when watching this episode to realize that they were taking him seriously and believing him. Because maybe it's my person. I just thought they were messing with him, But no, they believed him.
It's hard to tell what's going on until he floats away. Yes, and I would love to get my gas tank filled for $1.80. That would be nice. $1.80. That's like not even an entire gallon now. And he advises them to find a place to stay because he thinks it's about to rain. And he realizes it was kind of odd that the customers didn't seem to even know what a $10 bill was.
Yeah.
And his friends make fun of him a bit and leave.
So what year is this supposed to take? Is this contemporary with when it was released?
It says Sterling in the opening narration says that it is present day.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Did we get to
LBJ was vice president, so this would have been during JFK's administration, one would expect.
One of my first earliest memories was, I guess we were on a trip down to Florida and my dad was complaining that gas was 25 cents a gallon. So
yeah, that price seemed a little high. I remember in the 90s, it was like half that. I'm hallucinating memories, but I thought in the 90s it was like 95, 99 cents at one point.
Well, in the 70s, it spiked up tremendously. So
I know, but then it
right with the
down
shortage.
in the 90s.
I've seen those old videos of people in line for gasoline. So Phantom Outsider is asking too many logical questions. Where did the aliens get a car? How did they get plates for it? Are they insured? Do they have licenses?
Of course, they're not insured. Do you know what their rates would be considering the travel distance from? What's your daily commute from work? 37 light years. That's going to cost you, buddy.
And Eclectic Goat is back. Welcome back. Hope everything went well. Gullible aliens, my favorite kind. Yeah, me too. Me too. Better than 30-cent burgers. Oh, those are so good too.
Mm.
At 5 p.m., he's decided to shut down the store. This is a good time to quit. And then he hears a creepy voice who says, Mr. Frisby, if you walk out of your store and head east down the highway for 200 yards, you'll have quite an adventure. And Frisby is frightened by this, but the voice wonders at this and wonders if he's frightened. And that's the ticket because he denies being afraid. He says, no, me, I'm Stonewall. And Dwight Eisenhower nicknamed me Stonewall Frisby.
Yeah, well, to his credit, he didn't seem all that fazed. He seemed a little nervous, but if you can keep, spinning yarns like that when you're hearing voices, you're pretty well controlled,
Yes, and he does it the entire time. No matter what happens to him, he retains this ability. And so they convince him to take a walk to find out who they are. And he says, okay, just let me put away my stuff. And they're like, you're not coming back. Leave your stuff. And they whisk him away somehow. It's not teleportation because they lift him up off the ground.
Yeah.
So I guess he's just flying through the air to wherever their spaceship is. Yeah, Mary Poppins, yeah. Powered by aliens.
They had some good sound effects there. When he landed, you hear this buzzy synth, and then you hear like a tuning of a synth where you hear the beating of two out of tune waveforms. It was pretty cool.
And then he goes, will you? And he's placed down to wherever their spaceship is. We don't know where they parked.
Remember, but I guess where we parked?
Do they remember? Because that's a common problem is losing your flying saucer.
It's true. It's not cloaked, so
or like Klingon bird of prey. Yeah.
Yeah, the Klingon bird of prey is cloaked, so it's easier to lose it. He's told they're waiting for him inside the craft if he knows. And they want to know if he's impressed with their spaceship. Even now they want his approval because they're really impressed by him. So they want to impress him too. And he acts like he's not. This looks like a flea on a dog compared to the one that I designed for the United States Space Agency.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it was called something else before NASA, but I don't think it was that.
Old rocket thrust frisbee, they called me.
He's not even going for plausibility, is he? I mean, no. Not even close.
No, they drop the stairs for him to enter, and they do. We get to enjoy more Forbidden Planet stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's marveling around. He's looking. He's like, "Oh, are these Hollywood props?" Yes, but we're in a story, Mr. Frisby. So in the story, it's a real ship, but the prop that he's admiring is from Forbidden Planet. It's the Astrogator.
It's the Astrogator. Mm-hmm. And then that panel behind him is supposedly from The Man from U.N.C.L.E., according to the Internet Movie Database. That's something that's usually behind Mr. Waverly. But I didn't take the time to check that out. But that panel right there.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's an IMDb trivia, it usually needs to be double checked. But sometimes it's accurate.
Uh-huh.
And in this one, it probably is. And this is all too much for Frisby, so he decides it's time to go. But the aliens have decided that he must stay. Like this.
Oh my
With
goodness!
all their hands.
All those gloved hands. What the heck?
Yeah, he would make a sizable meal.
Yeah, if I had to do a thumbnail for only this episode, this one would have been it. This is funny.
Oh, Jill, just a quick trivia. The distance from Paris to Berlin is about the same distance as Dallas to El Paso. So imagine making that trip in an hour.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You have to be on a rocket.
Or Santa's sleigh, since we're in the season. So Frisby says, mixed up the first batch of that myself in my cellar. Oh, wait, what? Oh, liquid propellant. Right.
Oh,
They want to ask him about liquid propellant. And he talks about what an expert he is on that too. Well, folks in the hometown wanted me to run for Congress on account of I got the country back in the space race. So silly.
Liquid propellant Frisbee.
I can just see the author like trying to come up with all of these, whoppers and thinking, no, that's not absurd enough. Like, it's not always that easy on the fly to come up with like a ridiculous tall tale. So I wonder where his inspiration.
That's a good question. I figure it's a man's patriotic duty to invent a liquid propellant if he has a mind to. And I was a mind to. And he mentioned Princeton University, but the aliens were what? Like, wait, I thought you went to the University of Wichita. And then he says, well, yeah, I was. I have degrees in 38 universities. Oh, my goodness.
Now, I did move from a couple of schools, so I'm sensitive to this because,
But
did you get a degree in every single?
To jump through those hoops so many times, rack up those credits, write those papers.
Yeah, no, I did not get degrees from all of those universities.
Burn out.
But then he finds out that they're going to feed him. He can't go home for supper. He's not going home. They're taking him to his home world, and for the first time ever, Frisby wants to be humble because the alien says, Mr. Frisby, our assignment here was to secure a representative Earth species, hopefully the most brilliant we could find. There seems to be no question that your accomplishments are far and away more extensive than those of any other human being on Earth. And finally, Frisby says, you know what? He tells the truth. He says, I'm just an old country boy with a big mouth. And he admits he's a terrible liar.
I'm the gall darndest liar that ever hit the pike.
Yeah,
I spin the biggest yarns west of the Rockies.
Yeah,
I don't mean exaggeration. I mean lies. Lies, lies.
Now,
it's a matter of course, so you get the impression that even when he's telling his stories, he knows people don't believe him, and he just does it anyway because it I guess it's just something he does,
Yeah, it's just fun for him.
Hey, Jill, did you talk about Peter Bracco?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he was. I think he pops up for the first time in that slide a few slides back. There he is, right there on the right.
Right, he's
in
a
Star Trek connection. Star Trek connection.
Yeah, he's in a Star Trek. He did seem familiar.
Yeah, Errand of Mercy. He also was in a previous Twilight Zone episode. The Four of Us Are Dying.
Yeah, the guy in the middle there is in everything.
Yeah, he's oh my goodness, he's in everything. He was in North by Northwest, Jill.
Oh, right. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
saw
he was
that for the
he was
first
at the
time.
train station. Something wrong with your eyes, huh?
Slim
Anyway.
Pickens is great in this episode, says Robert, right?
Now, I do have to ask, who didn't, when you were watching this episode, who doesn't think of the most interesting man in the world commercial? Because that's the first thing that popped up into my head when.
Yeah, that does fit in a way. Yes,
He Phantom Outsider says he has degrees in 38 universities because he invented distance learning and got a degree for that.
Yeah.
But you know, the funny, even when he's admitting to lying, he's exaggerating about lying. It's just like the man can't stop.
No, he can't. But what the idea here is that these aliens don't understand what a lie is. Just like the Thermians
Shades
from
of Galaxy Quest. That's the first thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That they ripped this episode off, Jill. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering if the writers of Galaxy Quest saw this Twilight Zone episode.
They could have been
and said, "Hey,"
inspired.
yeah, I'm fine with the inspiration.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously, it's not a direct copy.
Galaxy Quest is awesome.
Well, no,
Yes.
that was more fundamental to the whole moral of the story in Galaxy Quest, where the basically the actors had to rise above themselves and kind of unite for the cause in a reality, as opposed to a script and everything. So the whole need to prove oneself, dig deep and prove oneself in spite of the fact that you're an actor and putting on a fiction that these extraterrestrials, don't even understand. I think it was a little more fundamental to the story. So,
yes, obviously the whole story is a little bit different, but it is. They were paid to be actors. In this case, he does it for fun. He lies for fun.
Yeah, the guy in the middle's name is Milton Selzer. He was in essentially every TV show from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I guess, everything from Get Smart to Sid and Nancy, Marnie, Capricorn 1, Vegas, Magnum PI. But I think I don't think he's still with us. Yeah, he retired in 95 and passed away in 06. So
yeah, well, thank you for that. But the only way this episode's going to be like Galaxy Quest is if he did end up having to go with them on the trip, and something happened, and he figured out that he could actually be useful. And so there's an alternate story where he grows and learns, but not in this one. So they're planning to keep him like a zoo animal, like in a menagerie.
Oh, you said the magic word.
I did say the magic word. I'm perfect. It's not going to be a cage. It's not the cage.
The Telosians, Jill.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're having the same problems as the Telosians, but they are collecting. It does seem like
they're
collecting.
Collectors. Yeah, they're collectors.
Mm-hmm. And they also don't realize that humans probably don't want to be in a zoo. And Frisby so very much doesn't want to be in a zoo that he punches out the alien.
Yeah.
Hello to chatty blogger MS Mikey. Hello. So Oliver's more irritating. 67 to 33. That's the poll so far. Thank you for the report. And hello to Criff and DBK.
Yes, he doesn't want to be like Data. End up an exhibit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, most toys. That was a good episode.
Ugh.
Yeah, my mind is just reeling with all of the shows, science fiction shows where humans ended up in some kind of a zoo. I mean,
well, there's 2 Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
And that's just the original series. Because there's also the animated series episode where they're going to be put in a zoo. They are put in the zoo by these aliens that kind of look like squids. And so at least he doesn't cower or anything. He knocks this alien out and breaks apart his mask. I really love this. It looks like they put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, it's
And you crack it open and you get the actual alien's true form that he really looks like.
Yeah, they did a good job with the cracked open head, at least.
I think so too. I liked it very much.
The alien head looks a little.
is that a bowling ball?
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a bowling ball. And well, Frisby faints in shock. And he wakes up just a few minutes before the aliens are scheduled to leave the planet to their own home planet with their new specimen. And he says, "Man, the last time I saw anything that looked like you,
I've been on the 4 days on the corn jug."
And even what I thought I saw looked better than you do now."
Yeah.
Burn.
Yeah, it's almost like, the whole chin strap headgear. There's something, bandaged up about it that I just can't shake when I look at that.
It's cool. Now stop making fun of the aliens.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Gavin, keep making fun of the aliens. They look like Brussels sprouts.
Hey, it's better than the carrot from Lost in Space. No, what I'm saying is it looks like an alien in a bandage, though, like an injured alien.
Yeah, that's right. It kind of does.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. But here we go. Now Mars Attacks. Rip this off.
Yes, Mars Attacks too. Yes. So he says that he'll get used to their appearances, and he asks if he could relax a little and plays his harmonica, just like he does at the beginning. And he does. And so the setup and payoff is that the aliens collapse, just like they do in Mars Attacks, to the yodeling playing, the music in that episode, in that movie.
Yeah, the Slim Whitman yodeling, and it blew their heads up, Jill. But
yeah, it did.
With these aliens, they just get knocked out.
Yeah, at least they don't explode all over the place.
Yeah, they don't explode.
They would have, but they didn't have the budget.
Oh,
yeah.
That reminded me of one thing that they admired. One of their exhibits they talked about was someone who could sing 8 different pitches at the same time.
Yeah, they had a Venusian. They had a Venusian.
Yeah.
And he had accompaniment with his tail.
Yeah.
But I guess whatever pitches he reached were not as bad as this harmonica.
Well, they're musically selective.
Yes.
Basically how these guys are.
Right. Just like the Mars Attacks aliens are perfectly fine with the song. It's not unusual. They're...
Now, what if he showed the aliens the Twilight Zone episode, Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? I wonder what they would have thought of that.
Oh, no. You're crossing the streams.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, those are... Well,
yeah, we had...
they'd want their musician back.
Yeah, the Venusian had 3 eyes, and the Martian had 3 arms, if I recall correctly.
So I just love the idea that this episode could have inspired 2 really great science fiction movies.
Yeah,
as we mentioned here.
Now the Mars Attacks, of course, the whole Slim Whitman and music thwarting the Martians is not on the bubblegum trading cards. I'm not sure how do we defeat the Martians on the bubblegum cards. Anyone know? The collector cards that the movie's based on. See, I don't know. I know the movie, having Slim Whitman, that's comedy gold right there. But yeah, I wonder, I'm sure, if not, in the forefront of their thinking, it was swimming around in their brains somewhat, remembering this episode. Whoever wrote the screenplay for Mars Attacks.
Mhm. Well, I'd like to know the answers to that question.
Yeah.
Chatty Blogger is writing what I was thinking. Elijah Wood was great protecting his grandma in Mars Attacks. But also he played a cool hitman in the Sin City series.
Elijah Wood.
And I don't know if Elijah Wood was in that movie.
No,
but,
Elijah Wood is not in Mars Attacks. It's
I was thinking.
it's
that.
it's the little boy from Witness, whatever that actor's name is. Right? Grown Up.
Yeah. But what I was thinking from that is that it's great that essentially an old lady saved the world.
Yeah.
Or along with that guy.
Uh-huh.
So Phantom Outsider says a TNG episode where they find an advanced alien race that is ruled over by 20th century man who was just a big liar. Lucas Haas, thank you so much, DDK.
Lucas Haas, yes.
He saved
thank
us.
you.
And Richie Norris was the character name.
Yeah. So he saves himself. It really would have been fitting for him to be a creature in a zoo, but he escapes and he gets to go home.
No, they already did that with Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, but
which I really cannot stand episodes like The Keeper and People Are Alike All Over in Twilight Zone, The Keeper and Lost in Space, where it's a humanoid. I mean, an alien looks just like us, but they want us as a specimen. I'm like, we look alike. Makes no sense. Now, if the Keeper was a octopus looking thing with tentacles, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, like the animated series.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the animated series, or goofy bowling ball head aliens like in this episode. Okay, I can understand wanting a human for a specimen in their intergalactic zoo or whatever. But when they look exactly like us, it makes no freaking sense.
Well, I guess I could say one thing for Frisby. He does have a great sense of direction. He was lifted off and carried to wherever the spaceship was and knew how to walk back home.
Yes. One thing he doesn't brag about.
It's what he's actually good at. And the one thing that saves him is also something he doesn't really brag about, is playing the harmonica.
Yeah.
So, but he makes it home and everybody gives him a surprise birthday party. And of course, nobody believes his crazy story of almost getting abducted by aliens because he's always lying. So it's the whole boy who cried wolf thing.
Hey, I think Serling says something about that.
Yeah, he said that, but I put it in my notes before I read the closing narration.
Oh, excellent, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got a nice super chat, Jill.
I did.
A super chat.
Thank you so much. I wish somebody would give me peanuts. Happy Jill, stream day to you. Well, I hope you get peanuts for Christmas then, old man bird.
Oh, we used to get toffee coated peanuts in our stockings, a big carton of them.
Oh, that sounds good.
Back in the 60s.
I got to play a video for old man bird.
I used to get macadamia nuts.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah, they're good.
What is this? Oh, I still have all these here. Yeah, we mentioned him earlier.
No, it was just that you said a husband of mine. Well, how many husbands have you got? You've only got me.
I would appreciate that not being rubbed in.
a shrew for a wife.
I just realized there's a woman going viral on TikTok that's basically that woman. She's exploding because all she does is tear up her husband. She's an awful, awful human being. Okay, didn't mean to kill the stream there.
No, it's one of those.
No.
So,
Yeah.
did you find your video?
Sorry. Yes, I found my video and I was talking, but I had myself muted. Apologies for the that. I do that sometimes. Let's see where something is. I always want to play this, but I always don't know where it is. I guess I can't play it.
Oh no.
I'll find it someday. Let me fix this and we'll get back to the episode. Do right there and then there. There we are. And so they give him they give him a trophy. They give him a trophy for here you are. You're the world's biggest liar. Even though for the first time he's telling the truth about those men being aliens. But everyone is just delighted and they're laughing to hear the funny story that they're all sure is totally baloney.
Well, there's Floyd.
There you are.
And there's that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like to figure out who everybody is and what everybody's name is, but there's so many people.
Now this guy is Clem Bevins.
Yeah, the 19.
And he was
1879.
1879, I think. Yeah, 1879. So he's
Chatty Blogger says, take care everyone and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. Yeah, he's the oldest Twilight Zone actor.
Yep, and this was I think this is his last credited role because he passed away the following year.
Okay, Stone Racket, please read the closing narration. I'm putting it in private.
Mr. Somerset Frisby, who might have profited by reading an Aesop fable about a boy who cried wolf, tonight's tall tale from the timberlands of the Twilight Zone.
Well, it still worked out all right. At least he's back to his life as he knows it. And overall, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. Everyone knows he's full of it. But at least he's honest in his dealings pretty much with, customers and everything. So it doesn't seem like there's anything devious about his dishonesty. He's just...
True, his customers love him.
It just makes life more fun.
Andy Devine.
I'll bet any of us who collected comics knew that one guy in a comic shop that no matter what, you just wanted to zip in, grab something to zip out. You were going to be held hostage while you listened to a story, whether you wanted it or not, and you just sort of got used to it,
You're stuck with that. You just plan it. You just plan to be stuck there for 30 extra minutes.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Exactly.
There's folks here on the internet that say that about me, that I can't stop talking.
Well, but it works in I think you're best when we have a focus. When it's free reign, you can talk about whatever you want. Then that's when
that's when I go crazy.
Well, Stoney, I felt held hostage before on the internet, and you were not the hostage taker. So
a Stone Racket.
Okay, I breathed a sigh of relief there.
Good.
Floyd turning up in The Godfather was a big surprise. Someone may get it.
Every town has its own Big Billy bullshit.
Yeah, the place I used to work at, we had a maintenance guy that was one of those, no matter what you were talking about, he had a better story. He could always top whatever you're talking about. And it was just annoying as heck.
Yeah.
And
oh man.
The Boy Who Cried Wolf is an Aesop fairy Aesop fable, but I don't usually associate wolves with ancient Greece. It's one of those things. Yep, they had wolves, but I don't know. I just sort of think of
That's more of a Rome thing.
yeah, yeah. Well, when I think wolf, I always think of the English Moors. I wonder why.
Phantom outside. Well, go ahead.
Or the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rome was founded.
Sherlock?
Romulus and Remus.
And the Spartans used to go hunting wolves. So yeah, they've been around a while.
Yep.
Yeah, they have. So they've been around long enough for us to domesticate them.
Yeah.
And make hundreds of breeds.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I forget. Why are we talking about wolves?
The Aesop fable, the boy who cried wolf.
Boy who cried wolf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the wolf in your living room.
Where does tangent come from?
Right, Jill? The wolf in your living room.
Mm-hmm.
Your dog.
That's right. That's right.
Or whoever is a dog owner here on the panel. Jill, you just have a cat, right?
Yeah, I just have a cat for now. I'm thinking about a dog soon, though.
Oh no, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
I know. The only thing that stops me is my cat because she's an old lady now, and I don't know if I want to bother her.
Yeah, that might not go well.
It's
best to have them adopt at the same time as little ones, so they grow up together.
Yeah, but I've never had problems with my dogs and cats living together.
Well, that's excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
Even when they weren't brought home at the same time, because everybody has, you're a dog person, you're a cat person. I'm like, why can't you be both?
Yeah, you can be both, of course.
Yes, I am. I'm very much better.
I love Star Trek and I love Star Wars, the original trilogy.
Maybe I could do a trial program and bring the puppy home for a few days and see what happens.
Yeah.
Phantom Outsider says, "Hey, wait. We all loved listening to Clobby. We all showed up to listen to him. You got to. Wow, that's amazing. I wish I could have been there when Clobby had his comic book shop.
Yeah.
But I was only able to be there digitally, and so I'm sure I got some of the same stories you did when he was on with Mark D with the C or his own channel."
Yeah, but he didn't really tell tall tales, and he didn't, you
His
asked
stories were
that guy,
real.
yeah, and you asked him to tell the stories. Like, he never forced them on anybody. He was always very well-mannered gentleman.
Yeah, he's sweet.
I've never met anybody who was just such that had a natural encyclopedic knowledge of so much. I miss him.
Oh, you did mean his channel. Yeah, his virtual shop. Yes, his Clobby's channel I miss him too. That was his virtual comic book shop. And that's true. And it was amazing to get to know him. And
his name.
His sense of humor was amazing. Also,
his name was Mike, right?
Mike Alonso. Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, let me read the preview for next week's story before we start talking about other stuff.
And the poll.
And the poll. That's a good idea. So, the preview for next week's story is: we have a return visit next week from a most eminent performer, Joseph Skildrot. And his vehicle is called the Trade-ins. It's a story of a future society in which new bodies may be traded for old. It's my personal feeling that all of the various story areas we've tackled in the Twilight Zone, out of them, this one has the most import and carries with it the most poignance. I hope you'll be able to be with us next week. And then also next week on the Twilight Zone, we'll tell a story that we think might prove a rather haunting little item in the scheme of things. It tells of a small Mexican boy and a visitor from another planet. And it tells further what happens when this extraterrestrial traveler is faced with some of the less personable instincts of human beings like fear, superstition, and intolerance. Our story is called The Gift. They both sound really interesting, but we won't get to
Yes.
until next year because this is the last Twilight Zone. If I have a stream next Tuesday, it'll just be holiday frivolities or something silly because I'm gonna take a break
There's
after Friday.
one quick note about the trade-ins is Joseph Schildkraut was in the previous Twilight Zone episode, Death Head Revisited.
Well, I'll be happy to watch an episode without Nazis in it.
Yeah, this is without Nazis. Yeah, a big change of pace there, Jill, with this upcoming episode that we'll discuss next year.
But it's something Serling feels is very important. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing what it is.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was a big. He was putting a lot into it. Let's look at the poll. It's rather small. Let's make it larger.
I can't see. Oh, there we go. Oh no, there's words covering it. Looks like Oliver wins in a landslide.
Yeah. So, which character is more annoying today? And yes, Oliver in 4 o'clock wins with 68% over Frisby and Hocus Pocus at 32. Where, yeah, it might be annoying that Frisby keeps talking and talking, and you know everything he's saying is a lie, and so you just have to sit there. But he's not bad. He's not a bad person.
I find him endearing.
Yeah, I overthought it, and I want to change my vote, so it would actually be more for Oliver, because, like I said, it's easy. It's easier to ignore somebody that horrible instead of humoring them. But like I said, overthinking it. So
I could
probably
see that.
more like 70-28.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how much you annoy him. Krangle has a file on you.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore him because he's going to call you. Yeah, he's going to call your employer and harass them and tell them how terrible you are and try to ruin your life. So I don't think it's very easy to ignore him.
Yeah, another good point, which is why I'm changing my vote.
Fair enough. Yeah. But actually, I don't know which episode do you enjoy more is not what I asked. I made my poll a little different today.
Well, we could still.
So I think you could just reverse the poll, and it tells you that people probably like Frisby more because it's a lot more fun, and you get aliens, and it's Mars Attacks and Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. I'm not saying aliens are responsible, but I think it was aliens, Jill.
So next week we're doing the trade-ins, and what's the other one?
Next year we're doing the trade-ins.
Next year, no, I'm gonna stop the Twilight Zone for the rest of the year because of the holidays.
Right.
Because next Tuesday is gonna be 2 days before Christmas, and I might, if I stream, it'll just be something silly.
Yeah, I meant to say next time.
Yeah, next time it'll be the trade-ins, and then the second episode.
Yeah, that'll be
the gift.
That'll be December 6th.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying.
I mean, January 6th. Excuse me.
January 6th. Now, I'm not saying the gift has space aliens in it, but it just might have space aliens in it.
Oh, are we skipping Showdown with Rance McGrew?
We've already done it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wasn't there, but that's already been covered.
Okay.
But you're welcome to watch any episodes you missed if you want to watch them just for fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Got some time. Oh, man, the glove cleaner sent a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I didn't know whether or not you would be here next Tuesday, so early Christmas. Thanks. Thank you, glove cleaner.
Merry Christmas, glove cleaner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I am here, I'm going to just do something silly. I don't know what. just a game or a
And
hangout.
then there's the 30th. After that, that's the
Yeah.
next Tuesday.
We're just flying through December, man. I
Yeah.
can't believe how quickly this month is going.
Yeah. This year's almost gone. We're ready for 2026, and no Twilight Zone for a whole year. Oh no, for the
No,
rest of the year.
the rest
No
of the year,
Twilight
which
Zone
is
for the
just a
rest
few
of the year.
weeks.
Yeah, it's just
But
got 2
Jill
weeks.
will be back
Yes,
on
Jill.
January 6th.
Jill
Is that?
will return.
Yeah, Jill
Yes, January
will
6th.
return with the Twilight Zone.
It's true. I guess for now. Thanks, Istophobos, for hanging out and sharing, and the Wayfarer Project and Stone Rocket. Y'all have been great.
Right, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure as usual.
And thanks so much for creating your channel, Jill.
Yeah, I did that a while back, and it
Yeah,
seems to be fun. So I
it's
keep doing
it's
it.
always fun.
Hello from Mrs. Dadman. Oh, this is Mrs. Dadman. Hello.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for telling me who you are, because I did not know who BFROMO
That looks
Junior is.
That looks like Galactus.
It does.
Oh my
It does
goodness.
look like Galactus. Oh no.
I'm scared. Look at those burning red eyes. Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
Mr.
maybe this
Brown
will make you feel
Alliance
better.
with Spock.
Yes. Can you start again? Okay, everybody, you're ready. You enjoyed reviewing these episodes once. How would you like to do it again for Mr. Brown Alliance?
Yeah, there's a lot of them I missed. I wasn't here for any of the second season, so.
Yeah. So let's do one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great to see you. Oh, you're not Mrs. just from her chat. Oh, okay. I haven't met you before. I'm not sure how to say your name. BFRO. That's why I'm not sure I like this at thing, because I'm sure that you have a name, but I just don't know what it is yet. I will learn it. I promise.
B from OJR.
B from OJR. Oh, thank you. B from O Junior. Cool. Well, Mrs. Dadman is great. Thanks for coming here.
I know of Mr. Brown. There has been much talk of such things before.
Yes, Mr. Brown. And I don't have my bot going today, or his link would have popped up. But if you're subscribed here, you're probably subscribed over there.
Now, Jill.
My goodness, what is going on?
Mr. Brown, was he ever on your Star Trek reviews at all? I'm thinking of.
I can't think of.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I have seen him in the chat, I think.
Yes, he shows up in the
here
chat
and
a
there.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, not only on your channel, but some of the other channels he's popped up. I'm trying to think what's the name of the gentleman that has the avatar of the Romulan lieutenant.
Oh, that's Subcommander Tall.
Subcommander, say that last name again.
Tall.
Tall, yeah.
Yeah.
After that character from the Enterprise incident.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I was only on one panel discussion where he was present. I wish he had been on more.
Me too. He was amazing.
And then the gentleman from Australia who laughs a lot. What was his name again?
Australian who laughs?
Yeah, he hailed from Australia, and he had Benjamin Grimm as his avatar.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was really into the Klingon episodes. Can't think of his name.
Australian?
Yeah, he was from Australia. I mean, that's where he was residing. I don't know if he's from, but that's where he was hailing from. He didn't have any kind of an accent, so at least that's what I recall. Oh well, sorry about that.
Yeah,
let's get back to the Twilight Zone.
I hope he doesn't listen to this and he's like, you don't even remember me, and I spent time on your panel.
Do you remember that guy we don't remember anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now I'm going to have to look it up. So,
What
doggone it.
happened to Hungry Boy? Well,
Hungry
he had
Boy.
to step away. He had to step away for health reasons, and
Yeah, that's
he's
it. Hungry
he's
Boy.
around. He's
Hungry
around.
Boy is who I'm thinking of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who you're thinking. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for helping.
Yeah, Hungry Boy.
Miskatonic Madman. I couldn't do it because I don't think of him as an
Yeah,
Aussie, but he is in Australia.
he was that's what he said, he was where he was.
Yes.
Um
Yes.
and he was on the first time, I think it was only one time or maybe two times, but he was on a review stream with me when I was on as well, I should say. And that was the Day of the Dove.
Then he was on 3 then, because he was also on Devil in the Dark and Children Shall Lead, I think.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't on your channel for any of the first or second season. Well, I was there in the chat for Assignment Earth. But yeah, and the Children Shall Lead. I avoided that like the plague. I hate that episode.
Oh, yes. Well, I'd avoid it too, except I promised to do all the episodes.
Oh yeah,
Can I skip it?
you were obligated. Yeah, my younger brother can't stand that episode either.
Yeah. No, there are some stinkers in the 3rd season, but it's
Yeah.
usually in the second half of the 3rd season when everybody's left.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
and
know.
when I say second half of the 3rd season, that's in not broadcast order, but in production order.
In production order. Yeah, I know the Empath is one of your top favorites. Ha ha.
Oh god.
Yeah,
She's wearing way too much eye makeup.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
don't hate
boring.
that episode though.
It's
I really
boring.
don't.
It's just
Yeah,
boring as
but
hell.
I don't hate it still.
Oh, okay. Well, nice talking to you. No, no, that's fine. To each
Who's
his
this
own.
Istophobos dude? No, but I love people like that Istophobos who love every original series episode. It doesn't matter. Like that,
Well,
that kind of love is lovely.
I wouldn't say I love it. I just said I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it.
I am not a fan of And the Children Shall Lead, no matter
that
how many times I try to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's cringe. What's
Yeah,
your
they should
opinion?
have hired that lawyer guy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with Chekhov, Walter Koenig. It was just stunt casting. Istophobos, what do you think of the alternative factor?
It's a swing and a miss. There's an idea in there, but they didn't.
It's a great idea. They failed. Execution so horribly.
Execution is, except if you like Vasquez Rocks and seeing actors or stuntmen fall off of them, then it's a great episode. But what does Lawrence have to say about Trek?
Trek in general?
Well, we're talking about episodes that are cringe or episodes that a lot of people don't really care for, but you've don't mind.
Is my all-time worst. You know,
what was that?
The Kids.
That's and the Children Shall Lead
is seeing the looks on their faces as they pound their fists. It's like
yeah, the fist pounding, isn't that great?
No, that's the all-time worst. I don't know.
But you know, even my
Wayfarer. But go ahead.
Even my least favorite episodes, like compared to the filth, like they really hold up a lot better.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Oh
stories.
yeah,
they're good. Stories.
They're fun. They're still fun to talk about. And you know, I hate the alternative factor is my least favorite episode. But every once in a while, I do say, I do have fun talking about it.
Yeah, well, we always still have Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. So you know.
Yeah, but what of Lazarus?
Even in the bad episodes, we have the people and characters we love, and that's really the difference. Is that there's nothing to love about that new stuff, man. Even the people that say they love it, there's no way they can really love it. It's just,
yeah, they say they do, and I would like to challenge that sometimes.
Yeah,
I think it's just the shippers, these weirdos that just lock onto a pair of people and decide that they're meant for each other, and really go
It's creepy.
deeply delusional about it. Very, I think it's probably a very serious mental illness that's not taken nearly seriously enough by the mental health community.
That's what they
Yeah.
they actually wear their mental illness as a badge of honor, which is even weirder.
Yeah, but like when you're going to an actor's house and trying to break up their marriage so the character can be with another character you decided, I mean that's way over the line, man.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
like that time Janeway was in the Haven and reprogrammed this one man to be her husband, even though he was already married.
Yeah,
and
the
she deleted,
bartender. Yeah.
she deleted
Delete
his
the
family.
wife.
But yeah, but fan fiction can get really weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
Brogu says, I'm going to say this in Jill's favorite second language. Adios, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. And always remember, this is the way. Bye. Bye, Brogu. And
Bye-bye.
my son is having a Spanish test today. I'm hoping he did well.
Oh,
my goodness. I tried to study with him a little bit.
Oh, I guess I should mention in an hour on Trev Retro's channel, we are going to be doing Star Trek 3.
I love Star Trek 3.
Spock, we did Star Trek. We did Wrath of Khan last week, and it was.
I
great.
did Star Trek 3 with Mr. Brown Alliance way back a couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
But Trev Retro is great. I'm going to be on Trev Retro next Tuesday for Star Trek 4, and that's the one I picked to do. I could have done all of them. He said you could be on every one, but I was like, that's a little stressful, so I just picked one. So let me grab Trev's channel here. I've got somewhere.
I like 4. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I do like myself Star Trek 4.
Oh, 4 is fantastic. It's so much fun. It's a real. I don't really know anybody who doesn't like it.
Some people like to be contrarians and not like it for fun or some reason.
It is a crowd pleaser, you know.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's incredibly silly.
Yeah, but I have no problem with those episodes or movies that are created to sort of give the fans, you know, what they want. There's so many, you know, epic moments in Star Trek 4, really fun moments that. I mean, for me, the line that always got me is, "No, I'm from Earth. I just work in outer space."
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite lines.
I'm from Iowa.
No, yeah, Jill got right. And since I'm from Iowa, that's like Jillian goes,
lover,
I get it. You're from outer space. He goes, no, I'm from Iowa.
I'm from
I only
Iowa,
work in outer space.
But Istrophobos got the heart of the quote.
He missed out Iowa, and I'm very up. Oh, never mind. No,
you know, that explains why you sound Canadian.
I sound like Stone Racket.
Yes, he sounds like a Stone Racket.
I have what is known as a Midland accent.
And yeah, check out Trev Retro. I always love talking about Star Trek, so yes. Star Trek 3. Whee!
Would that be Des Moines?
No, it's pronounced Des Moines. No, I was born in Ames, Iowa, and now I'm living in Eastern Iowa. So
isn't Ames where the university is?
Yeah, Ames is where Iowa State University is, and I got my degree, my undergraduate degree there, and then I moved down to Iowa City to go to the University of Iowa, and that's where I got my master's degree. That was back in '87.
I knew a lot of I had a lot of friends in college that ended up going to Iowa for creative writing.
The writers workshop. Yeah, the writers workshop is rather renowned. Kurt Vonnegut, Nicholas Meyer, just a couple off the top of my head that went through the workshop.
Yeah, it's well renowned, and
actually got to see Nicholas Meyer when he came through the Communication Studies building when I was working on a project.
Was this before or after Wrath of Khan?
It was after Wrath of Khan because I was working on my master's from the fall of '84 to, and then I sat out a semester because of financial difficulties, and then I went back the spring of '87 and finished and got my degree in May of '87.
When he walked by, did you scream, Nick?
No, he was going around with the head of the film studies department and my advisor, and I didn't want to embarrass either one of them. But he just kind of walked through where a lot of my fellow film grads were working, and I think the most I did was kind of nod toward him, but just nodded in recognition, but I don't think he was even looking my way. But,
yeah, because I kind of did that to Armis when not Armis, Armin Shimmerman when he was getting to his car to leave, and I said good night, Armin, and he waved back at me. It was nice.
Was that out in Vegas?
Yeah, Las Vegas for the Star Trek convention.
Well, that's cool.
And that's for Gavin for posting the quote here. I have the quote, so I played it. So
yeah, that's my older brother Rick needs Dr. McCoy to give him a pill, one of those pills.
Yeah, I wish it did exist because dilation, that's not good.
No, the kidneys seem to be a thing right now.
Yeah, my older brother
stream there.
Yeah, my older brother yesterday had surgery to remove his left kidney because of cancer.
Oh.
Well, I was going to make a smart ass comment about haven't kidneys always been a thing, but I decided to not to do that. But then again, I just did it. So
Well,
I had some family. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying I had some family living in Cedar Rapids. I didn't realize how many months it was covered in snow. I know where it is, but I guess I just don't think of it as such a cold place.
Oh yeah, it can get very cold, but as I always say, Iowa, more fun than Nebraska, warmer than Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cedar Rapids is just a little over 30 miles north where I live. And Cedar Rapids was known as the city of 5 smells. So they had Stofers there, they had Quaker Oats. What are the other 3? But the first time I
like Stofers, so you got the good one.
Yeah, the first time I went to Cedar Rapids, I was just knocked over by how foul the city smelled. I was there to see I was at the 5 Seasons Center to see Pat Benatar. That was in November of 81 or 82, one of those. Yeah, 81, I think. It was her Get Nervous tour promoting that album, and we were waiting outside the 5 Seasons Center, and I shouted, I go, "This city stinks." But it was cool. Her tour bus came by and we were all in line there, and we all waved.
I think what Mr. Brown said, I used to think a steak and kidney pie was steak and kidney beans, and it sounded so good. And the first time I was in England, I ate one and I realized it was actual kidneys, and that's not so appetizing.
Did you try it?
Of what critter?
Oh yeah, I'm assuming it's a cow.
A cow. Yeah.
I can ask Brown. He's
he
would know.
A definition of an earthbound hell is the British are the cooks, the Germans are the policemen, and the French are the politicians.
There you are.
What was that about? What was that about? He was in Omaha and then he went into Iowa every so often. Yeah.
Yes, and also Mage Gray will finish the prologue to his story. Just 20 more chapters and the epilogue to go.
Oh
Oh,
my
you're
goodness.
nearly done.
Well,
Good
hopefully
luck.
he knows where he's going. He's got an outline, or he's got synopsis, or a
It sounds like he has a plan. Some
plan. As
people
long as
say writing the end is good.
yeah, that's how I did my college papers.
Mm.
I would write the end and the opening, and drove my roommate nuts. He goes, I use note cards. I put one fact on every note card, and then I arrange it. And I go, that's too much work. And I had little brief outlines, and I'd write in the margin while I'm doing my rough draft. And that he just couldn't take that. He just says, but well, to each his own. Lamb's
Gavin says
kidneys.
the kidneys were lamb.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, I just tried not to think about it and drank a lot of beer and
A lot of beer. Wash it down with beer.
Yeah, still full of uric acid though.
Yeah, the steak and potato pies were quite yummy though. I don't mind most pub food, you know.
All I want to do if I ever get
Zoom,
over to
zoom,
Great
zoom,
Britain
and
is
boom, boom.
go into a pub that serves food and get fish and chips in a newspaper.
I've had that. It's actually, you know, it's quite lovely.
Yeah, I eat fish and chips here. You know, it's like I want the official fish and chips, and
Real experience.
with a pint of Guinness.
Yeah, I did appreciate the size of the beer mugs. When I first went to England, and
yeah.
then I went to Germany.
It comes in pints.
Yeah, then I went to
pints
Germany,
are different
and
there.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's true.
wow, that's a big ass mug.
Yeah.
Yeah. The UK, the pint, you get 4 extra ounces.
Cool.
There was a pub in Taiwan, Taipei, called Beer Castle, where the mugs were 2 liters.
Oh my goodness, that's way too much.
It had a handle on each side of the mug, so
yeah, you're gonna need 2 handles. It's like
all this food I don't want. None of this is making me hungry.
No,
I do not
liver
want
and
liver
onions.
and
Yeah, I when my mom cooked that for my dad, she always made some hamburgers for me and my younger brother and my younger sister. It was just my oldest brother and my father and my mother that actually ate that, and I couldn't stand the smell when my mom was cooking that liver. It's like, ugh.
I didn't. I thought it actually smelled pretty good. It was what it tastes like that always killed me.
Yeah,
Hey,
but Mr. Phobos, did you want to promote anything?
Food.
We could talk more about organ meat if you want.
Yeah, the organs that clean out toxins, I usually don't find all that delectable.
Yeah, you got a good point there.
Yeah, they're certainly not mentally appealing. Well, you know, I figure since we're done, I was noticing that Columbo really doesn't seem to pick up until season 2, where he starts to develop the mannerisms that we all know. Like I said,
I disagree. Have you seen the original film Prescription Murder? With Gene Barry, excuse me, Gene Barry as the murderer.
What was the mechanism of murder?
Well, anyway, Prescription Murder was based on the play that Levinson and Link had on Broadway, and they made a TV movie, and some call it the first pilot. No, it was a standalone movie, and then 3 years later, they made the official pilot film, which is Ransom for a Dead Man. But Prescription Murder, Gene Barry is a surgeon or a doctor, and he murders his wife to be with his mistress, who is an actress.
Okay, I didn't see that one. I just started it. I just finished the first season.
Yeah, but when you watch that, it's like his character's not quite there. But when you watch Ransom for a Dead Man with Lee Grant as the murderer, he's got his character down pretty much, and he's very, he's doing his familiar thing. But yeah, I thought Columbo was fully formed in the first season, but
Yeah,
maybe it was the stories in the second year that pulled you in more. I don't know.
yeah, I just didn't find them. Now, the performances were good. The dialogue was great. I did think the stories weren't quite as I don't know. It just didn't hit me as some of the later episodes.
Yeah, I really like Murder by the Book, which is the first episode they actually aired with the regular length episodes, and I liked the one that Peter Falk directed with oh gosh, what's his name? Patrick O'Neill as the murderer. That's a good one. The weakest episode in the first year is the one with Suzanne Plachette and Eddie Albert. I think that's probably the worst episode.
That one was that I did like the one where the writer.
Yeah, that's Murder by the Book.
Okay,
that's Murder by the Book. That was directed by Steven Spielberg, and then I like the first one with Robert Culp, which is Death Lends a Hand.
Yeah, where the matchbook is the fulcrum that, like, he is Columbo, but he doesn't mess with the people that he knows are guilty in the way that I think he does in the later scene. He doesn't do all of the fake "I'm leaving, oh, one more thing" kind of thing.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
I don't remember. I just watched the first season a few months ago. I don't.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe I'm filling in where things aren't. Yeah, but if that's I see what you're saying. I think the first time he does that, probably
we're doing a bit of fill in. I would agree.
Yeah. I think so. But I think we are finished talking about the Twilight Zone, so we can head backstage and talk about Columbo.
Okay.
Or yeah. So let's head out of here and join us next time. Next year for the Twilight Zone, but also, I don't know, holiday streams are happening now. We're going to do Christmassy stuff and some weird stuff. So stay tuned for whatever I decide to do. Okay. So I'm sort of on vacation, but I'm going to keep streaming and just do whatever I want. And so,
how about
we'll see what
Christmas? How about Christmas and Columbo next Tuesday?
Christmas and Columbo next
Columbo.
Yeah, sure. Come back next week and
Murder Under the Douglas Fir.
Listen to Phobos and Stone Racket talk about all the amazing things from the 60s.
Because we're both oldie Olsons.
Well, I encourage anybody to check out many of those older television shows, and I think you'll find immediately you'll notice a tremendous difference in the quality of the writing and the production and the acting and even the lighting
too.
Yeah.
And I was shown Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Avengers, and so I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff.
I just do love everybody when Columbo shows up, they're like, who is this homeless guy interfering in my crime scene, man?
And he stumbles around. He kind of fights with the doors.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I'll talk. Thanks to everybody in the chat who was here too. I appreciate all of you. And let's see who. Actually, I have a cheat list on who was here. We had 29 people here. Come on, where's the 30th one? We had John the Beagle Dad, Real Wade Nation Gaming, Jason Love, Greek Letters Larson was here. I didn't see him. He must have been busy, so he couldn't say anything. Miskatonic Madman. And hey, Mr. Brown is leaving. See you later, Mr. Brown. He says bye. And Rob Wright and BF.
Oh, Rob Wright was here?
B from Junior. Yeah, he was here briefly.
Awesome sauce.
He made the Slim Pickens comment.
Oh, he
Yes.
did. Okay.
Yeah. He
I
gave
missed.
away the end before I got to it.
Yeah,
Mage
I
Beowulf.
saw the comment, but I didn't notice it was from him.
Mhm.
My powers of observation are diminishing. Oh no.
No, you gotta do some more puzzles. More Lego. More Lego.
More Lego. More Lego. Yes.
Herc 130, Mr. Brown Alliance, Chatty Blogger MS, Stone Racket number 16, Euler Greg 15, FKHC 2005, DJ Play Nice, Eclectic Goat, Istophobos, Not Z3PO, Crouching Taylor, Hidden Swift, who is of course Matt G, James Caserta, Brogu, The Wayfarer Project. Hey, everybody who was on the panel was also in the chat at some point.
And what about Anti-Derivative Jill? Was she in the chat?
I was a couple of times. Kimberly Ann Hart is number 5. Number 4 is Phantom Outsider. That makes sense. He wrote a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's a good contributor.
He is amazing. As is Gavin Blackburn at number 3.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Old Man Bird. And number 1, a glove cleaner. Yay. I think, though, the number 1 without having to send a super chat was Gavin. So thank you so much, Gavin Blackburn. You're amazing. And Low Specs Linux Gaming. See, they missed out on putting you on the list. This list is not perfect.
Oh dear.
Dethroned. Yeah.
Well,
I think one time you beat it even.
Yeah.
Even
he was
with-
definitely he actually was speaking truth when he said that the chat belonged to him.
It's
He
true,
had
it's
conquered
true.
the chat or something like that. Yeah, he was
Right.
number 1. He had the number 1 crown. That's for sure.
All right, we'll see what stay tuned to see what I'm up to. Keep the bell on because who knows what I'm going to
Yay.
stream. Yeah. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for
Okay.
hanging out and
Yeah,
thanks
thank
for
you, Jill.
talking about the Twilight Zone. Bye now.
Cheerio.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.
See you around the galaxy.